All right, welcome into night 2 of our Grid Network NBA Draft Live coverage. I am Bryson Carver, going to be joined by Mike Guido in just a second. Had a blast last night discussing the first round, reacting to the first round in real time. Listen, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan, so I'm already still in cloud nine. The fact that we drafted my man Yaxel Lenneborg from Michigan. But let's go and bring him on. He is our draft aficionado here at the Grid Network, both for the NFL and certainly for the NBA. Please welcome Mike Guido onto our draft coverage. Mike, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good. We are getting ourselves ready now. I'm trying to pull the stream up on ESPN Watch. It's giving me a little bit of a hard time, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a little bit. But yes, we are ready to go.
No worries. Hey, listen, but worst case scenario, I've got my feet up here. Hopefully we can have an interesting night tonight. So we've already seen some, movement in the second round. Toward the end of the first round, there were some discussions of potential trades. The Knicks ended up moving, the Mavs ended up moving their 30th pick in the draft. And we actually saw about an hour ago, the Lakers have acquired number 56 from the Bulls in the second round of this draft in exchange for cash. So Lakers, by the way, with multiple trades involving some money, they're not short on cash in regards to the Walter family, which is self-explanatory. But as far as best available, again, it was actually on the thumbnail for the stream. We talk about Isaiah Evans, Henry Vassar is somebody we talked about last night, Malik Thomas, Baba Miller. Like, who's somebody you think right off the top of the second round is like, oh, this guy could be a day one, like, potential interesting rotation guy in the NBA next season?
Yeah, I think, when it comes to second rounders, it's so hard to tell whether or not anybody can really make an impact right away. I think Malik Thomas for me is my best overall player. Just his offensive makeup, I think, is really, really good. A real bona fide scorer, real good movement shooter. Malik Thomas is up there. Baba Miller has a really interesting build, right? Super athletic, really long. He's got a big NBA body. He should be a terrific defender in the NBA, but his offensive game still needs a lot of work. So there's a lot of guys out there. I mean, some of my favorites, you're going to see guys now that are going to be the, you're going to see the 4-year seniors, right? That come out of college, right? Like, one of my favorite players in this draft right now is Bruce Thornton out of Ohio State. Right? Like, he's had such a tremendous career at Ohio State. He's the college's all-time leading scorer. Like, he should go off the board tonight, right? And Bruce Thornton, I hate to say it because I get the expectations are certainly lofty, and I certainly don't anticipate him being this, but he's got a little Jalen Brunson in him.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like,
another second-round pick.
He's got a little bit of, like, get in the paint. He's undersized, but he gets garbage buckets. Like, he's one of those guys. So he's one of my favorites. Somebody like Richie Saunders, I feel like, could contribute right away as just like a hard-nosed, big-time shooter, 100% every play kind of guy. There's a lot of guys to like still out there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like we said, this draft is deep, Bryson. So you're going to be getting guys that could contribute either now or later tonight as well.
And listen, even in recent history, we kind of briefly discussed last night, you've seen some pretty special second round picks. Like, on the lowest end of the totem pole of second round stars, you've got Draymond Green, who's all he was the defensive player of the year. You've got Manu Ginobili, who was a multi-time champion. And then you've got, two of the 5 best players in the NBA just conservatively. Jalen Brunson in 2018 from Villanova to the Mavs, and we see what he's done with the Knicks. Nikola Jokic is a 3-time league MVP, obviously, from the Nuggets, coming from Serbia. And speaking of the Knicks, we've already got a trade right off the bat before the draft even starts. Shams just tweeted that, and we had heard some buzz about this, but the New York Knicks are trading picks number 31 and 55 to the Houston Rockets for picks number 39 and 53 and a 2029 Kings second rounder. So this pick is actually going to belong to the Rockets. So right off the bat, here comes the confusion. Somebody's going to wear a Knicks hat, and they're going to Houston, Texas, Mike Guido.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, the second round is way more painful than anything else, just because, I was looking today just to confirm the draft order, make sure that I had all the trades right and everything, just so that I can have it down on my tracker correctly. And there were second round picks that have shuffled between 5 or 6 different teams already. Like, it really is such a crapshoot when it comes to second round picks. But, listen, the the Knicks certainly have a game plan, right? Like they are
Yeah.
trying to accumulate as many assets as they can with second round picks. And I'm assuming that they're going to want to use those for players and not necessarily prospects. So,
Right.
we can see how that ends up, but
Well, and I mean, and Barry joined us last night, and he mentioned the fact that this might have something to do with Tate Dolan doesn't want to go into the second apron, so maybe you package those picks, move on from some one of the key contributors from that team, and try and get an impact guy. But it'll be fascinating. They're discussing right now on ESPN the potential Jaylen Brown situation. Brad Stevens had a very, very interesting press conference. I think it was yesterday in Boston, where he openly admitted, like, yeah, Jaylen Brown, there were talks about moving him to Milwaukee for Giannis, and also didn't necessarily shut down any possibility about them moving on from Jaylen Brown. It was reported today that Boston could be looking for a big to move Jaylen Brown for. And I'm trying to think, like, you mentioned Şengün could be on the move from Houston. Like, maybe that's somebody that could fit what Boston's trying to do. Right. Again, I suggested yesterday, like, Jaylen Brown with the Houston Rockets is a very interesting possibility. Interested to see how that happens in the next few days. There wasn't really a question involved with that, but just curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that the relationship is pretty rocky in Boston with Jaylen Brown. So, listen, they should get a pretty lofty return. I mean, it really depends on what the Celtics want to do. Do the Celtics want to bring in a slew of young players, or are they going to try and swap stars with somebody? And you really just need to ask yourself, if you're the Celtics, who could you trade Jaylen Brown for that's equal to what he could produce you? You know what I mean? So, like, I'm skeptical that they're going to be able to find that move. I mean, I think when they were, trying to trade for Giannis, it made sense. But, I mean, Jaylen Brown is a top, 10 player in the NBA at this very juncture. Like, unless you're trading him for another top 10 player in the NBA, I don't know that it's worth it for you. So, I think you have to just kind of look at this as I honestly feel like they should probably just try to make this work. I mean, unless Jaylen Brown is completely disgruntled and, it's going to end up hindering your locker room and everything. I just don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, Bryson. I feel like they've kind of, put themselves in a position where they took a shot at Giannis and it didn't work out. And, now they kind of have to prove to Jaylen Brown, like, hey, listen, we still want you, but you know what I mean? It's an awkward situation, I think, for both parties there.
Well, and I feel like it'd be so much easier for Boston if they never won a championship with Brown and Tatum as a duo. It'd be like, man, gosh, this thing's kind of run its course. We got to the finals, and then you move on from Jaylen Brown. I thought Chris Broussard made a really kind of hilarious point, but it was interesting today on First Things First. He said, listen, the two major deals that Jaylen Brown could have been a part of, Kevin Durant 2022, Giannis this year. You're talking about two of the 25 greatest players of all time. Like, it's not like they were going to trade him for bums, but like you said, from his perspective, I'm a Finals MVP. By the way, cherry on top, I was actually the Eastern Conference Finals MVP when we got to that Finals, and I averaged 30 a game, get us the two seed. Listen, the blown 3-1 lead to Philadelphia was a disaster. We understand that. I think most of us attribute that more to Boston's really flawed style of play offensively, more so than, Jaylen Brown just choked. And so I tend to lean with you, unless there is kind of an ideal package, which Giannis would have been. Yeah, but as long as it's not going to be a locker room issue, you're still, I think, the consensus second best team in the East. So we'll see how it plays out. It's you said it best. It's at best awkward in Boston, at worst potentially toxic, depending on how it plays itself out. Second round still hasn't gotten started yet, oddly. So I think they're trying to milk all 3 hours in the ESPN broadcast this year. So, we'll see what happens with that.
Again, it's more of the crap that is happening with the NBA right now. I don't understand why they need to stretch this out into 2 days. They should have just gotten it all done yesterday. I don't know. I don't get it. At least for me, it makes no sense.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, you could, what was the draft back in the day? Like about 4.5 hours, both rounds. Night one was about 4.5 hours, knocked it out. And
started at 8, it would end at midnight.
Yeah. And then, second round usually flew by because there was less time on the clock. There'd be some trades to keep us entertained. But yeah, they're showing some of the previous second round picks. Like Jalen Brunson is such a fascinating guy in the sense that wins a couple natties at Villanova. Smart player, excellent, point guards, can score the basketball. And, it was funny. there should have, and it was a tiny sample size, Mike. I understand this, but if you remember that 2022 playoff run is last year in Dallas, there was a brief stretch where Luka was out with injury and Brunson had like a couple of 30, 40-point games against the Jazz. It's like, whoa, we never saw this coming. And now, shocker, he gets his own team, and you see the Knicks have gotten better every year he's been there. So, yeah, it's, again, you can find a ton of talent in the second round. There's, as deep as this draft is, as deep as the talent pool of basketball is worldwide, it'll definitely be fascinating. So it'll be Houston with the first pick. And please correct me if I'm wrong. You said you went over these to make sure that this is set in stone, but it's going to be Houston because the Knicks just made a trade. The Rockets will get the first pick of the second round, followed by Memphis, Brooklyn, Sacramento, and San Antonio. Is that correct?
I'm seeing, so I believe, so it should be Houston,
right?
Memphis, Minnesota at 33.
Julius Randle trade. That's right. Yep.
Cleveland at 34 after the trade from last night.
Okay.
And then it should be Denver at 35.
That's right. Did Denver and San Antonio make a move last night, or am I feel like San Antonio made.
I don't remember.
It just kind of ran together. Ran together.
Yeah. Let me see if I can backtrack a little bit. Yes, Denver and San Antonio made a trade last night. Okay. Denver traded back. Sacramento got Cleveland's first round pick. They moved up a couple of spots, so Cleveland slid back. Yeah. So I think, and that's kind of where we're at now. So now we're still waiting. I'm still stunned that, it's 8-12 now.
And we're still stalling.
And we're still waiting. Right. Yeah, well, they moved everything into the smaller room and everything. So they're no longer, what is it, at the Barclays Center?
I was going to say, I don't even know if they're at Barclays tonight. Like, is this just at like a it's not a hotel, but it's, it's certainly a smaller venue. But, we bag on Sacramento all the time. By we, I mean Barry Grant Jr. As NBA Siberia. But listen, Darius Acuff Jr., if he doesn't hit, then this franchise really just is cursed. I think we talked about it a little bit last night. There's some, work ethic concerns, things of that sort. But again, it's similar to Darren Peterson. Just judge him based on what he did on the floor. And last season, he was, particularly in the tournament for Arkansas, darn near unguardable. And so if he can develop into being what he's capable of being, then I think he's a undoubtable superstar in this NBA. So, and it's going to be his team too, because DeRozan's either going to get traded or waived, probably waived because of the contract. They're going to move Sabonis. So, they're going to have assets, and we'll see if they can be able to put this thing, I say back together, but have the Kings really been together in 25 years or so, at least since the Chris Webber days? So
never.
So yeah, just looking through teams right now. Who was it? We talked about Oklahoma City had a phenomenal first round. Ade Mara as the quote unquote Wemby stopper. It's kind of gotten some buzz today. Like, oh, this is to counter the best player in the West, arguably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Abuka Corey, which they traded for the kid from Iowa. What's his name, Mike?
Bennett Sturts. Yeah, Oklahoma City had a great night last night. I mean, Ade Mara certainly serves a purpose for them as a big. He's a great counter to Wembanyama. He's a very good defensive anchor. Again, huge. He's 7'3". Bennett Sturts is an offensive whiz. The guy is he's a good shooter. Plays with a ton of energy, good movement off the ball, finds open space. Both of those guys just fit exactly what they do. So again, I think, again, we talked about it yesterday, right? Shoot and play defense seems to be the theme here for the draft. I think that same principle sort of applies here. You're going to see a lot of guys. I think you're going to see more shooters today than you did yesterday, as far as specialists are concerned, right? You're going to see guys like Nick Martinelli out of Northwestern. You're going to see guys like Tyler Nickel out of Vanderbilt. Those guys are, specialists, guys that can really hit it from outside. Lamar Wilkerson is another one of those guys that can really stroke it from outside. So I think you're going to see a bunch of shooters go off the board. And I think you could see that relatively early. Like I said, Malik Thomas, my number 17 overall player, he's still available. So a lot can happen right now. I mean, yesterday was pretty chalk, but there's still some guys out there.
I was thinking about this when you were bringing up Adai is that this goes without saying, but size has always mattered in the NBA. There's no question. Like it's the old saying, you can't teach 7 feet. Like it's why the Rockets took Hakeem over Jordan back in '84. Like that's that's been part of that thought process. But I wonder if Wemby continues to grow, if next year he wins league MVP, Spurs win the championship, and he's the unquestioned best player in the world. Like, is this a situation where you see more of an emphasis on the 7'2", 7'3" guys who maybe aren't that developed offensively, but can just be a big body to give him problems, particularly in the West. So I wonder if that's a thought process. Mark Tatum is finally taking the stage. Mr. Smiles, thank God.
Mr. Smiles is here.
Mr. Smiles.
We're ready to go. Finally.
That's when you know it's time for the second round.
I mean, I just don't – I hate the fact that the NBA is just finding new ways to butcher everything that we enjoy about the NBA. Like, it blows my mind. The dunk contest, they've ruined.
Dunk contest is terrible.
Not even just the dunk contest, All-Star Weekend, they've ruined. They've ruined the.
I thought the All-Star game was good last year. This past year, it was solid. It was passable.
It was better than it's been, but I don't know that it's altogether good. I mean, I would still say it's fairly lackluster, but the NBA draft lottery is stupid. I think the fact that they split the draft into 2 nights is really, really dumb. I don't know. I feel like they're again, how many times can you step on your own, what? Like that's the way the NBA operates for me right now. I don't know.
Listen, to be fair, and it looks like the Rockets are officially on the clock. So yeah, we finally got a team about to make their selection. So no, but to your point, like it's a situation where I think with the new TV deal coming in, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. I don't want to say skeptical. I was iffy on is the inside the NBA to ESPN thing going to work? I thought it was in the finals. Thought it was a home run. It was a slam dunk to pair them with Mike Breen. Like it was great, especially with the Charles Barkley San Antonio thing and the street meet in New York. So the Houston Rockets are on the clock here. Where do you think they go in the spot? Again, they make the move to move up to 31. So there's obviously somebody they like. You mentioned a lot of shooters. Houston could definitely use some. Obviously, they got Reed Shepherd. KD is still there. Where do you think the Houston Rockets, or who do you think they target in this? I
would imagine it's Malik Thomas here. I mean, I just think right now, I think he is the definitive best player left on the board.
Okay.
True scorer, shooter, good movement off the dribble. He can, put the ball on the deck, shoot it from all over the floor, all of those great things. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Clarkson. Like he's just like a really solid spark scorer, microwave kind of scorer. So Malik Thomas makes a lot of sense for me. If they really wanted to go off the reservation, somebody like Isaiah Evans would even make a lot of sense too. Again, another one of those long shooters that, again, like Isaiah Evans, Richie Saunders, like I think you're going to see shooters go. You know what I mean? Right now, I think you're going to see a bunch of guys that can really hit shots from the outside. So again, you know what? Honestly, Bryson, the thing that frustrates me right now about the way the draft has moved over the past year or so is it's been used a lot in a way to manage your salary cap. So, a team like the Cavs or a team like Dallas or like some of these teams that, need to find ways to get under the apron or whatever the heck it is, right? They're just surrendering first round picks, trading back and getting future stuff. Like it's almost becoming an event that teams with cap space are the only ones that can participate in it. So it seems a little, I don't know. It seems a little off for me in that respect.
I mean, I'm 100% with you in the sense that I thought the newest CBA, and listen, both sides had to agree, the Players Association, the league, I think more than anything, it prevents dynasties, which has historically always been good for the league. It's always been at its most popular when you've had Lakers, Celtics, the 80s, Bulls, in the 90s, and so on and so forth. But more so is that if you have a team like Oklahoma City or San Antonio, a team that's drafted well, scouted well, they can't keep all their guys. And I feel like there's an element of punishment that if you draft almost too well, you can't keep the roster together.
You can't keep your
Where
guys together.
you can't keep your guys like it. It was harder back in the previous deal, but it's now basically impossible. So I'm with you. I hope in a 7-8 years or whenever the CBA is it ends and expires. I hope they don't try and bring this back. I know Adam Silver's been big on this parity thing, which I mean, listen, this is the highest rated final since '98, so he can make that case and say, "Hey, league's never been more popular." It feels like more of a Knicks boost than anything. But it's when you do have this much sort of when it feels as wide open as it does. And tell me if you think I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There are teams in the middle that think they're close and they're really not. I feel like that leads to less aggressiveness. So we'll see. Here's the first pick of the second round from the Deputy Commissioner, Mark Tatum. Bruce Thornton to Houston.
There you go.
From Ohio State. You mentioned him earlier.
Love that. I love that. Love Bruce Thornton.
All-time leading scorer in college basketball history, correct?
In Ohio State history, yes. He is a great player. I mean, I just love the way that he plays the game. Good head on his shoulders. Again, one of the best, if not the best, Ohio State basketball player of all time. He has been so good for them. He's just a really good scorer. He really is. He's the way he offensively plays the game. Is just really smart. He's got good court vision. He's somebody that can see passes. Good shooter. And again, one of the things I love about him is he's not afraid of contact, right? He's short. He's like 6'1", 6'2" at the very, very max. And he's not a super duper athlete or anything like that, but he just finds ways to get garbage buckets. And those are guys that have long careers in the NBA. That's why I said he's a little bit Brunson-ish, because Jalen Brunson is not a super athlete. He's not somebody that jumps through the gym. Jalen Brunson has no reason to be a good player in the NBA. He has no physical traits that help him whatsoever. Bruce Thornton is a very similar player. He, just a good bona fide scorer with what he's given. He can create shots off the dribble. He can bang down low a little bit. I think Bruce Thornton is a really, really solid player. Again, this is going to Houston, but it would have been fairly ironic, the fact that the Knicks would have taken another Brunson-ish type of player. So again, I'm a big Bruce Thornton guy. He was my number 30 overall player. Jameer Nelson, I think, is the more realistic comparison for him, but he does have a lot of Brunson qualities. So this is a great pick by Houston.
No, it is. And to your point, like it's you talk about athleticism, you talk about all these things, but Luka Doncic is arguably the best scorer in the NBA, and so much of his success is he just finds a way to get to his spots. Now he's obviously much bigger than a guy like Bruce Thornton, but it's like just finding those areas of the floor where you're comfortable. Like you said, Brunson is somebody who hits the toughest shots in the world, but he's comfortable taking the shots where he does. Kind of you talk about having a bag offensively, and Bruce Thornton has that. So now you've got the Memphis Grizzlies who are on the clock, and Memphis, to their credit, has had a pretty good draft. I can pull up. Obviously, they took
Kareem Lopez. They took Kareem Lopez
and Cam Boozer.
Right, and Cam Boozer. So, I mean, they got one of the premier guys in the draft. That certainly is, something that they could be excited about. But there's still some stuff out there. So we'll see what they do. I'm curious of what their plan is for Kareem Lopez. But again, we'll see.
For sure. We're already on a commercial break, which we're going to get our Nikola Jokic to this draft during
it can't come this early.
It can't come this early. Gosh,
they can't start announcing picks during commercials this early.
32. Gee whiz.
It means, listen, it makes if you split it into 2 nights, right? You're anticipating this round to be. I mean, listen, it's scheduled on ESPN to be a 2.5 hour or 3-hour long event. If you're going to be announcing picks during commercial breaks at pick 32,
Mike, you're making way too much sense. Quit this. You're making way too much sense.
I know. I'm telling you right now. I'm not a business guy. I don't have the business acumen that I'm sure a lot of the NBA front office people do. But I'm telling you, if I was the idea man, the NBA, I'm telling you, the NBA would be in better shape. Because honestly,
whatsoever,
I would totally readjust the draft. I would totally overhaul the draft. The NBA draft lottery would be gone.
Not exist.
It would not exist. It simply would not exist. And I would turn the NBA draft into the NFL draft, and I would even maybe expand the NBA draft.
Expand the okay. Explain why.
I would maybe even make it around longer.
See, I almost think the draft is a hair too big. Like I feel like it should be capped at 50, not 60. Tell me why you think you should go further.
Well,
than
it
that.
has to be 60 because there's 30 teams in the NBA, and there's got to be 30 opportunities there's got to be an opportunity for every team in each round. That's something that has to be taking place. But think about it this way too, Bryson. I mean, how many guys do we see in the NBA that are undrafted that end up having careers?
Sure.
I think if you expanded the draft, you give those guys the opportunity to actually, like, I actually think it would even out the league even more if you gave those teams opportunities to scout more players, exclusively talk to those players. I would eliminate the draft lottery. I would eliminate all of the trade restrictions. If you want to trade 7 first-round picks in a row, go right ahead. Like, I would eliminate all of that. Get rid of the draft lottery. Draft trades happen right then and there so that people wear the correct hats on draft night. I would expand the draft to 3 rounds so that 90 players get selected instead of 60. I think that's the way you would go. And honestly, you could even say that in round 3 is exclusively 2-way contracts, so it doesn't count against the cap.
Okay, I could get down with that. The only, I guess, pushback I would have, or offer opposing thought, is the sense that I would say, again, we don't have direct numbers on this, but the hit rate for undrafted free agents in the NFL is way higher than the NBA. Like, I mean, you got Hall of Famers that were undrafted in the NFL, right? Kurt Warner, like, so it's hold on, we can get back to this conversation. Mark Tatum's making the pick for Memphis. Richie Saunders goes to Memphis.
Nice. Really nice. Richie Saunders is a good player. So Richie Saunders was A.J. DeBonce's teammate at BYU. And you could argue that Richie Saunders was a more heavy focus on certain nights than A.J. DeBonce was. He was a real problem as a perimeter shooter. He's one of these guys that I think is going to be in the NBA for a long time just because of how hard he plays. He's going to be somebody that provides so much energy. Richie Saunders reminds me a lot of Max Strus, right? Just like
I see that.
Gets down and dirty, really good perimeter shooter. I think he's more of a combo wing player. I think he's more fit to play guard than he is to play forward, but he's somebody that I think plays with a ton of grit, with a ton of like, he's not a super duper athlete, but he is also like he plays, like, how hard he plays, the effort he puts in makes him look like he's a better athlete than he is. So I love the effort. He was my number 27 overall player. I think this is a great pick. Honestly, this Richie Saunders could have very easily gone in round 1 and he goes in round 2. I think this is a really nice pick for the Grizzlies.
Memphis is having a nice draft to their credit. They really are. Richie Saunders, good value at number 32. Kareem Lopez, Cam Boozer. Like, it feels like they're, again, bringing in these guys that can contribute right away. Again, in the case of, obviously, Boozer, smart guy, can hopefully, kind of shift that culture. So I agree this is a good pick. And like you said, man, this draft is absolutely chock full of shooters, to say the very least. Yeah,
Memphis right now has taken my number 4, my number 27, and my number 29 player on the board. Cam Boozer was 4, Richie Saunders was 27, Kareem Lopez was 29. So they've taken 3 players inside my top 30. So that's productive. They've gotten some good players.
They certainly have. So now you've got, again, this is Brooklyn's pick. It's going to Minnesota with the Julius Randle trade. So this is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves selection here. This will be their first pick of the night. Am I correct? Or first pick of the draft? No, I'm sorry. Joshua Jefferson, this says?
They took
that was
Joshua Jefferson ended up going to Brooklyn.
So then Mikael Brown Jr. would have been going to...
Mikael Brown is also going to Brooklyn.
Oh, that's right. So then this is Minnesota's first pick.
This is their first pick, yes.
Okay. Not confusing at all. Not even a little bit.
Listen, I can't keep talking about it.
We're selling broken records, but...
I can't keep talking. Every pick, it's just like, all right, who's it now? Like, I don't know.
Oh, jeez. It's
I
like
just don't
he.
understand how Adam Silver or whoever's in charge of this whole thing, like, I can't understand how they can look at this whole process and not think that something's wrong with it.
Of
Honestly,
course,
like
he's.
from a consumer's perspective,
I mean,
it's so stupid.
the reason I was asking that question is because like I'm on the ESPN app and looking to see, team by team who they selected. Go to Minnesota, Joshua Jefferson, but then it says he was traded to Brooklyn, and then I go to Brooklyn's picks and it's Michael Brown Jr. and it's like, but shouldn't it be Joshua Jefferson? I don't know. Here's the pick. It says Nets. It's going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's Mark Tatum. Isaiah Evans goes to Minnesota.
Another shooter. See, Bryson, what did I tell you? This is going to be a run on shooters. A run on shooters. This is a bona fide, like, lethal shooter from the outside. This guy takes some deep threes. Now, again, he has the build of somebody that can be a little bit more than that, right? He's got long arms, got a lanky build. And he was really, really good at Duke. But here's the thing with Isaiah Evans is that he really is a little bit one-dimensional. I don't see him as a two-way player. I see him as just more of an off-the-ball scorer, right? He's more of a shooting guard. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Hawkins, who got drafted by the Pelicans a couple of years ago out of UConn. He's one of these kind of guys. I think he's just a rhythm shooter, somebody that's going to move a lot off-ball screens, take a lot of perimeter shots. Most of his shots that he took in college were from the outside. So he's going to go and he's going to go into the NBA and he's going to shoot a bunch of threes. So I think that's the reality for him. So again, Minnesota adding a shooter here, that's a good move for them.
It's a good move, and it does though go to a kind of a larger conversation with this franchise about like what is the. I don't know if the direction that they're going is necessarily going to be most conducive to Ant wanting to stay long term. Just in the sense that again they have the number 2 co-star there, a legit all-star caliber guy in Cat. Move him, and he wins a championship in year 2 in New York. Some of that again we attributes to what we were talking about earlier with the CBA and the second apron, Minnesota not wanting to go into that, but trying to surround with ancillary pieces, like, okay, it's somewhat of a gamble, but we'll see how it plays out. So now this pick is going to the Cavs. So your Cavs are going to make their first selection of this draft via Sacramento. So who you thinking in this spot for your team?
I don't know. I mean, again, there are still a bunch of shooters out there. I mean, I think as far as their roster is concerned, I feel like their area of need is more in the front court. Somebody that can provide a little bit of stability outside of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. So again, we'll see what they go with. Baba Miller is somebody that I would look at here in this spot. I mean, I think his athletic body with the offensive upside, but his defensive versatility, I think, is something that Cleveland could really, really use to match up with some of these Eastern Conference teams that have these really long athletic wings. I think that's something that they could look at as well. So we'll see.
Well, picks coming right off the bat. Now we're on a roll here. So here is Mark Tatum.
Only pick for tonight. You better make it good.
Oh my gosh, my feed froze. Oh no, I'm gonna have to rely on you, Guido.
It's Malik Thomas. Wow,
Malik Thomas.
They took Malik Thomas. So
that was your best player.
He was my best player available. This guy can really shoot, Bryson. I mean, again, I'm surprised that they took a shooter. I really am. This is not a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination. So, by the way, you spell Malik with an E, not an A. But way to go there, buddy. Calling you out right on stream.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I misspelled the Bance's name yesterday for a second.
But listen, Malik Thomas this guy's a legitimate bucket getter. He really is. I mean, this guy can really, really shoot it. He was my number 17 overall player. Reminds me a lot of Jordan Clarkson. It's interesting because I'm curious of where he's going to find playing time with this team, simply because their guard room is actually fairly deep, right? Obviously outside of Donovan Mitchell, and you would assume James Harden, if they're going to bring him back, you've got guys like Sam Merrill and Craig Porter Jr. and Tyrese Proctor. I mean, listen, like I said, you can never have enough shooting. I don't have any problem with this. He's got good size, got long arms, really good shot creator, shot 42% from three-point range last year. He is a true off-the-ball guard. So, listen, I'm big into this move. I think it's a great pick by Cleveland. I'm just curious of how they want to use him. So, really good player. He was my best player available, number 17 overall. I think he was almost a sure thing to go in round 1. He ends up going in round 2 to my team. There we go. Perfect.
There you go. Hey, listen, the Cavs did something right for once, right? It's funny. Barry wanted Cam Carr, got him. I wanted Yax Lundberg, got him. You wanted Malik Thomas in the spot, and it's the top of the second round. So might as well just end the show right there, right? Like we're all
lot to be happy about.
Lots to be happy about for sure.
And so you know what? They actually let him put a Cavs hat on. They knew.
Oh, did they?
They did. They let Malik Thomas put a Cavs hat on. Like that. So
it's not gonna be that weird, awkward picture in his house someday. Yeah.
Right. His entire family is wearing Cavs hats right now. So listen, this is a great pick. This is a really, really great pick by the Cavs. I'm excited about this.
It works. It works. So this is San Antonio's pick. It is going to the Denver Nuggets. They've got about a minute and a half to make the selection. Yeah, Barry says Mike sounds excited. Listen, like you said, best player on the board, and he fits Cleveland.
Again, fits well. He's in that same air. Like I had Malik Thomas ranked ahead of Koa Pete. Like I had him in the same conversation as Bennett Sturts and Cameron Carr. So I mean, that crop of players, Malik Thomas is in that group. So
for sure,
really solid by them. I am now out of players in the top 20, and I've only got 2 players left in my top 33. That's Baba Miller out of Cincinnati and Henry Vessar out of North Carolina. Those are the 2 guys. They're my number 21 and 24 players. And then after that, my next best player after that, I want to talk about him just for a minute, is Emmanuel Sharp out of Houston. He is he's my number 34 overall player. Old school Eddie House vibe for him. Big time perimeter shooter. Love the way he plays the game, plays it with a little bit of a mean streak. So I like him. I covered him when I covered Houston basketball. Really, really good head on his shoulders, was really well coached, obviously, with Kelvin Sampson. So that's another guy I think that if you're going to be drafting somebody in this second round, somebody like Emmanuel Sharp is going to be a real role player in the NBA. You're going to be getting a steal at that point.
I like it. No, he was a good player in Houston. He obviously made a national championship 2 seasons ago, lost to your beloved Florida Gators, and he was a really, really good player there. So Denver now on the clock. So any chance that their second round pick is as good as their 2014 second round pick by the name of Nikola Jokic?
No, I can't imagine. So,
no,
but
don't think so. Okay.
I will say this though. I mean, I think Henry Vessar is a really interesting player for them because he is a little Jokic-ish, right? As like this 7-footer who hits threes and, moves fluidly with the basketball and all that stuff. So that would be a little bit ironic, but I mean, listen, at this point, I mean, I think you're just taking best player available at this point.
Yeah.
If you're most teams, Denver's a team that does not have a lot of holes, Bryson. They're a pretty well-rounded roster. So again, just finding guys to fill roles, right? So, if they're, and listen, I should be more in tune with the fine tunings of their third string roster, but if they need somebody that can potentially fill in as a backup 2 guard or something like that, then why not take a stab at somebody here?
Here's the pick.
Oh, we have a trade. They're announcing something.
Well, I think he's just saying that Isaiah Evans is going to Minnesota, which we already knew. Trevin Brazil.
Nice.
From Arkansas. They got another Arkansas guy.
I like him. Trevin Brazil is a freakish athlete. This guy he's like 6'9", 6'10", and he's got crazy long arms, and he jumps out of the gym. He is a big-time switchable defender. Somebody that is really good at switching off picks, can shoot the occasional 3. He's not like a dead, like a dead-eye shooter, but if you leave him open, he's going to kill you. Like, he's one of those kind of shooters where you kind of have to cover him out there. He can really dunk it. I mean, he can really put on a show. he's going to be somebody that's going to participate in a dunk contest one day. Like, he can really get up there. He has that sort of similar impact as a power forward as somebody like Obi Toppin. Like, just a super athlete with some scoring ability and maybe some switchable defense. I think he's a better defender than Obi was. And maybe just a little bit of a tad less gifted offensively, because when Obi was coming out of the draft, Obi was the best scorer in the nation. This is a little bit of a different story, but the athletic profile really screams similar to somebody like Obi Toppin, and I think that's going to be the kind of role that he could play. A spark off the bench, the occasional pick and pop scorer, and a big-time versatile defender with some athleticism. He's a really exciting player to watch.
And potential live player for Jokic as well, kind of in that dunker spot where Aaron Gordon's at. So that could be a really good fit.
And this is a reach that I'm not really against. He was my number 41 overall player, but at 35, I mean, again, like, this is I wouldn't even really call that a reach. This is just a good spot to take him right now.
Just where you value him, if you're the Nuggets organization. And you were saying that they have a well-rounded roster. I would say they have a well-rounded starting lineup. Their bench leaves a lot to be desired. They've kind of bonded some draft picks over the years, so we'll see if they can be able to try and build a good squad around Jokic, Jamal Murray, and company. Up next, you've got, I believe this is the Clippers pick this is where I've got this listed, from Memphis via Atlanta and Utah. So this thing has at least been passed around 4 times, but this pick is going to the Los Angeles Clippers, and thus far. Let's see, they had the 5th selection of the draft. That was, I probably don't remember it because I wasn't on the stream with you. You were having a man at solo.
They took Keaton Wagler. They took Keaton Wagler yesterday, which was a solid pick for them. Again, like, they didn't need a point guard or anything like that. So Keaton Wagler can play point guard. I view him as more of an off-ball guard in the NBA. But the Clippers, again, just finding what they value. Baba Miller, like I said, is a super defensive athlete type of player. Henry Vesar, sort of that stretch big. So we'll see what they go for here. This is a team that is trying to fix what the hole that they dug themselves in, right? So we'll see if this ends up turning into somebody that can actually be a contributor for them at some level.
Well, again, and they did catch a pretty massive break in the Ivica Zubats trade to the Indiana Pacers, be able to get the 5th overall selection. I mean, you're looking at the best guys available. Like, it's a ton of guards. Again, you got Ryan Codwell, Emmanuel Sharp, as you mentioned earlier, Braden Smith, Jacoby Gillespie is a guy I like out of Tennessee that can shoot the basketball effectively. So definitely have a lot of options, just like in the first round for these next few teams.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. I mean, again, it's loaded with guards, but you've got some forwards here that actually can make a big impact too. I mean, Malik Brown out of Duke is maybe, like, pound for pound the best defensive player in the whole draft. Like, this guy can really defend. Now, he has no offensive skill set whatsoever. Like, he does not even attempt to shoot the basketball. So, and he's a little undersized for a forward, but this guy is a lock, and he can pretty much guard every position. So if you're looking for just a pure defender guy and you don't care that he doesn't shoot, then Malik Brown might be your guy. He is a monster defensively.
Well, we've had a lot of shooters go. We've had, potential of a defensive player, like you said, to go. The first round was kind of a mix of the two. More of a run-on specialist here in the second round. So it's going to be the Clippers, followed by Oklahoma City, Chicago, and Houston, correct? Or no, that Houston's pick's going to the Knicks because of the trade earlier. So Clippers, Thunder, Bulls, and then the Knicks, who have just racked up a bunch of picks over the last 24 hours. Here's going to be the selection for the Clippers coming up. Baba Miller goes to the Clippers.
Well, Miller
from Cincinnati.
Bryson, just wait till you see how ESPN advertises Baba Miller. He was my best overall player. He's my number 21 overall player. Reminds me a little bit of Jonathan Isaac for his size, athleticism, defensive switchability. But, I mean, this guy can really get up there. This guy's a pretty good athlete. And his body is NBA ready. Now, I think he needs time to develop his offensive game. He is not hopeless on that end, but I do think he needs time. He needs to refine his shooting stroke. He needs to refine his decision making. But as an athletic defense first player, that's how he's going to be able to contribute right now. So Baba Miller's a good pick at this spot. Again, good value here for the Clippers. Keaton Wagler, Baba Miller, that's a really solid draft haul for them.
Absolutely.
And they're not done. They've got a pick later also. So we'll see what they do with that as well. Just again, 6'10", Bryson. Wait till you see what this guy looks like. Good passer. He is just a crazy athlete.
Yeah, I'm watching his highlight tape right now on ESPN. He's dunking on offensive rebounds, dunking on people's heads. Like, this kid can play. This kid's an excellent athlete.
Yeah.
Good length. Yeah.
And he was arguably the best player at the NBA draft combine. Like, he really showed some scoring ability at the draft combine, which is why I was surprised he didn't go in round one. That's what I mean. Like, the upside is there for him. You can see a vision for Baba Miller as a potential offensive contributor, right?
Sure.
But he didn't show it that much in college. So you have to see if it's actually there.
100%. Oklahoma City now on the clock. They have selected, obviously, a Daimara and gosh, I keep forgetting who it was.
Bennett Sturts. They took Bennett Sturts.
Bennett Sturts, correct. So thus far, they've already kind of killed it. So they could, they've already got a big, go with another shooter here. I mean, like you said, he could add another one.
I mean, I also wouldn't be surprised if they went draft and stash territory here, maybe like a Jack Cahill out of Germany. But I don't know. I mean, it's so tough to predict what they've done or predict what they will do based on what they have already, what they've done already. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. OKC is just such a deep roster. They really don't have any needs. They have a guy that can fill every role.
Of course.
So,
and,
we'll see.
And the Sam Presti being Sam Presti, they've hit on some pretty excellent second-round picks. Like AJ Mitchell was huge for them last year in the absence of Jalen Williams. The other Jalen Williams was the second-round pick. Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, they're showing was undrafted. Hartenstein and Caruso didn't originate in Oklahoma City, but guys who were initially second-round picks. So,
right.
I'll tell you, AJ Mitchell, I remember talking about him last season. He was on like maybe the best contract in the NBA. Like, the guy was making $2 million a year, and
he was making nothing.
Nothing. And for Oklahoma City, I remember he had a big second round against the Lakers. So, man, they just know how to scout talent in OKC. There's no question about it. And again, if you're a Thunder optimist, you say, well, all the injuries we had, we still won 64 games. It came down to a game 7 against the Spurs, and just weren't able to get it done in that spot. So it does feel like that's going to be a not to disrespect a Houston or a Minnesota or Denver or anything like that, but it feels like it's going to be kind of a 2-team race for the next, let's be safe and say 3 to 4 years between Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Like, that's going to be kind of the we've been waiting for the next Cleveland Golden State. We might have that in just the Western Conference Finals, and that decide the champion for the next few years. So, both organizations are incredibly well run. Oklahoma City, we're still waiting for their pick. They are
milking this so much, dude.
They really are. Oh, finally,
this is so unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
I wonder if they'll be still going at this pace once we get to pick 50. Like, that's what I'm worried about.
I hope once we get. I mean, seriously, they better not be.
I hope
the second round should take an hour. Like, honestly, the second round should take an hour.
Yeah,
2 minutes a pick.
2 minutes a pick. I don't disagree. But you got to realize, man, if with the number of trades with second rounders, like, I mean, that's part of the story here. So
I'm sure that's part of it. Like, I'm sure part of it is that teams are just trying to offload some of these picks.
For sure. Here's Oklahoma City's selection. Ryan Conwell from Louisville to Oklahoma City.
Okay, so they took a scoring point guard profile guy. So Ryan Conwell is interesting because I think he's only like 6'2", but I think he's an off-ball guard in the NBA, right? Because when Michael Brown went down at Louisville, he really was like given an opportunity to like lead things as like a lead guard, and it didn't look all that great. So I think that in reality, I think he's just more of a two-way scorer off-ball guard that's going to be undersized. Like I think that's really who he's going to be. Showed out at the combine. He certainly had a good combine there. Reminds me a little bit of Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to be a pick and pop sort of shooter that's going to move off screens, left-handed shooter. He's a good player. He's a good player. My number 35 overall player, and he goes 37. So it's solid value. Again, drafting a shooter, and he's got some two-way ability.
Well, he's actually not going to Oklahoma City's. Shams Charania just tweeted that he's going to Miami. So the Thunder have traded Ryan Conwell to the Miami Heat for the 41st pick in cash. So, a big discussion with the Heat since making the honest trade is, A, they don't really have a point guard. Davion Mitchell's not really a true point, and they don't have shooting. Well, this, partially addresses that need. Mm-hmm. So for the Miami Heat, solid move here. Solid move. So the Chicago Bulls now on the clock at 38. I feel like this is a Henry
was this
spot,
trade?
Right? I don't think this was part of the Julius Randle trade.
No,
I don't think.
No, this is still just Chicago. This is still just Chicago. It is the next pick belongs to the Knicks. So 39. We're at 38 now. 39 belongs to the Knicks.
39 belongs to the Knicks, and now 41 belongs to the Thunder after trading Ryan Conwell. So yeah, like I was talking about, like we were talking about on this show, is that Miami gutted their depth, but they also gutted their shooting with guys. Obviously, Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware can knock down the threes, a 39% shooter from deep. Jaime Jaquez, they gutted their depth, they gutted their shooting in order to get Giannis. You understand why they make that move, but how they're going to be able to kind of replenish the bench and replenish the lack of good productive guards with Norman Powell being a free agent, that's going to be the offseason approach for the Miami Heat. So I don't know how they bring a bit of a non-draft conversation, but I don't really know how they bring Norman Powell back without trading Andrew Wiggins from a financial standpoint. And I don't know who's taking on Wiggins' contract. And so that they're in a little bit of a pickle. So yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just goes back to how can teams figure out how to manipulate their cap situation.
It's tough.
You know what I mean? It is really tough. And I'd be lying if I said I understood it, because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what they end up deciding to do. But I don't know. It is just so painful to try to figure out all this extra stuff that I feel like it's too much for the consumer to try to actually figure this stuff out. The
NFL makes it pretty simplistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do. And again, they adjust the trades relatively quickly. Certainly in advance. Like if there's a trade 5 minutes before a team makes the pick, then they don't adjust necessarily right off the bat. But this is the Minnesota Vikings traded their 3rd round pick to the Denver Broncos, then that's adjusted an hour in advance. So
right.
I don't know, or not an hour in advance, an hour after the fact. So and we are going to another commercial. We are still in the 30s, Mike Guido. Man, oh man, we probably sound like two old men yelling at clouds right now, but it is. I mean, it's not great television
on right now, but this is but this is insane. I mean, I don't know. It's 9 o'clock where I live, man, and we're at pick 38. This thing 38. Was we started the stream. We're 53 minutes into the stream, and we've had 7 picks.
Yeah.
What? It's bizarre. To me.
I'm call me crazy, but I think we had more guys by this point last night, right? I'd have to go back and time check it, but
maybe. I mean, listen. I say we protest by not saying anything until the pick happens.
Well, we got to say something right now because Tatum's coming to the stage.
Yeah, here we go.
Then we'll talk, and then we'll shut up for 5 minutes. You want to talk about bad television? That's it.
I may actually go fill up my water in a second, but
I don't blame you. He's announcing the Bruce Thornton trade, which was 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Braden Smith goes to Chicago Bulls from Purdue.
Wow, Braden Smith. I mean, listen, they're taking a stab on a very, very productive and winning basketball player. Braden Smith was my number 40 overall player. He's a little bit of TJ McConnell. I think he's a little bit more of a more consistent shooter than TJ McConnell is. He's got a really dangerous mid-range game off the dribble. We've seen that obviously on display on the biggest stages of college basketball. He can really shoot it. I mean, he's a 40+% three-point shooter in college. I mean, he really is a special shooter. His big issue, right, is that he's 5'10" or 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
So he's a short guy. So I think defensively he's going to struggle in the NBA. I also think his ability to get open off the dribble might be a little bit more hindered in the NBA when you're just dealing with faster and longer defenders. But listen, he's got a lot of really great skills. I like him. I like I said, I think he has the makeup of an NBA player. If he can overcome the size stuff, I think
That's
this
big.
Really good for him.
Yeah, that's a big thing to kind of overcome, just in the sense that, the last genuinely short player that we saw have success in the league was probably the other Isaiah Thomas, obviously with the Boston Celtics. Now he was a MVP candidate, kind of a one-hit wonder, but now the Knicks are on the clock. And
wait, hold on.
Braden
Smith is not going to Chicago. He's going to Indiana.
You mentioned TJ McConnell, so there you go.
Right, exactly. He's going to Indiana. So Chicago is trading Braden Smith to the Indiana Pacers for Cam Jones, who they drafted last year, and future swaps and cash. So Braden Smith's going to the Pacers. Cam Jones is going to Chicago.
Okay. So now you've got the Knicks on the clock, and this will be their first selection of this NBA draft. Despite the serenade, getting serenaded by New York last night before Cameron Carr went to the Los Angeles Lakers at number 24. So
yeah, right.
Craziness, crazy stuff. And again, that trade was reported well in advance of the pick. So,
All right. So do we have 7 more minutes to kill before the Knicks actually make their pick here?
Probably. You can.
I feel like we're waiting longer than the clock is longer than they're actually on the clock. Is that crazy to say?
No, it's not, because you think of the NFL drafts that we've done. Like if they go to commercial break, like the picks will come in kind of quick succession, the next 2-3 picks, because the clock's run out. So again, maybe we are just old men yelling at clouds. I don't know. Maybe the audience tell us if we sound like more negative than we should be. I don't think we are.
I think we're a little bitter just because we have so much of this dead air to fill.
Yeah,
that in between picks, because again, Bryson, we've done this together for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. We understand that the second round is just a different animal. It just is, right? And it's way harder to predict what teams are going to do in round 2 versus round 1.
Sure.
Right. So, you could ask me, hey, what do you think the Knicks are doing? And most of the time my answer is, well, I don't know, Bryson. It really depends on what they value. So I don't know.
This pick might not even be the Knicks. They might, trade this when it's all said and done.
Right. So they could very easily trade this. So I'm going to write New York in my pencil. Tracker here.
Write in pencil or erasable pen.
Yeah, really. I mean, I really should start using pencil on this, but I feel like here's the thing. Is this not so? Here's where we're at now in the NBA draft and with commercial breaks and all the wait time and everything. I feel like, Bryson, when you become an adult, you just pencils are a thing of the past. When you become an adult, you start using pen. Just is. That's the way it is.
Here's the pick for Houston. It is probably a draft stash. Jack Khalil from Germany.
Oh, so Jack Kyle is this is headed to the Knicks.
Yes.
So they are taking a draft and stash player. I would imagine it's a draft and stash player. He's my number 42 overall player out of Germany. Reminds me a lot of Bub Carrington. He just needs to become a little bit more consistent as a shooter. The game looks the part. He looks like he can really, really play. I'm I think the reality is with him, and he might be coming over right away because he was going to play college basketball this year at Gonzaga. So
Okay.
he could very easily come over right away. Um, the thing that is interesting with him is I think he's got a little bit of defensive upside. Um, he's a good ball handler. He's a decent passer. He's definitely a lead guard. And that's really his strength is his ability to get his teammates involved. He's got some finishing ability. There's a lot to like about his game. Just a lot of it has not, again, a lot of these guys that play overseas or play in these developmental leagues, most of the time, their traits don't translate into results right away. So Jack Kyle is one of these guys that you have to envision it, right? So he looks the part. He's 6'5". He's a lead guard. And whether he comes over right away, I have a feeling he is. But
Okay.
this is a good player for them.
So now you got Boston on the clock. This is the Celtics pick, correct?
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be the Celtics pick, and this will be their first of the draft, right? Or are they selected? Oh no, Chris Sinak Jr. from Houston.
They took Chris Sinak Jr. In round 1, so they did tackle a need for a big. So I wonder if they try to dip into the shooter pool a little bit. Do they go for somebody like an Emmanuel Sharp? Do they go for a Tyler Nickel or Lamar Wilkerson? Somebody of that ilk? Do they go in that area? So we'll see. We'll see about Boston. Boston, this is pick 40. I still have a top 30, actually a top 25 player on the board in Henry Vessar. So
yeah, I was actually going to ask you if you're surprised that he's fallen this far.
I am a little bit. Yeah. I mean, the problem with Vessar to this point is that the offensive traits are certainly there. The problem with Henry Vessar is that this year at North Carolina, he took a massive dip defensively. He was in his previous college years before he transferred, he was a real legit defender. This year, he took a massive step back. So I wonder if there's a reason for that.
We've got Dylan Mitchell from St. John's going to Boston.
Oh, hey, okay. There you go. So they went defense, athlete. Dylan Mitchell is another one of these dunk contest guys. He is a big, long, defense first type of player. Big East all defensive team.
Well, that's St. John's identity.
Yeah, he is a crazy athlete, jumps out of the gym. I don't know if the offensive game is going to get there. Like, I just feel like he's going to be more of a defensive role player in the NBA. He's got a little Rondé Hollis Jefferson. So, like, he can hit a little mid-range jumper on occasion. He can get to the rack and use his athleticism and all that stuff. The thing that worries me a little bit about him is that if he really does not develop more as a shooter, I just wonder if he becomes too much of a liability to give meaningful minutes to, despite his defensive prowess. So again, I think his offensive game needs to develop a little bit, but he's a great athlete, really good switchable defender, long arms, gets in passing lanes, all that stuff. He's a good player. His offensive game just needs to catch up.
That's right. And again, St. John's last season, obviously coached by the legendary Rick Pitino. Like that was a squad that got as far as they did on pretty much just defense alone. I think that one game where they won at the buzzer, I think was the second round or Sweet 16, I forget which. They shot like something like 30% from the field or something ridiculous. Again, that's who they were all season long. So that kind of matches. So this pick is going to go to the Thunder based on the trade earlier that we saw. And so
I'm not writing anything down yet until the pick comes in, because I've gotten burned too many times.
Yep.
On, needing to scribble over my pen because I'm an adult and I don't use pencil.
What's wrong with pencil?
There's nothing wrong with pencil. I just feel like after you graduate high school, you don't use pencil really anymore.
You don't use number 2 pencils necessarily.
Bryson, how old are you now?
I'm 22.
You're 22. Okay, so you're above drinking age. So you're a full-blown adult now.
Yes.
Have you graduated college yet?
Nope, I graduate this December.
Congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate it.
In college, do you use pen or pencil?
Pencil.
You do use
pencil.
pencil.
I do use pen. I mean, honestly, most of my stuff is on my laptop, but when I do write, it's usually with the pencil.
Wow.
Has that like changed or something?
Common. I feel like that's not common. Yeah. Most of the people that I know or went to college with use pen.
Like when they were in school?
In college, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
I'll need to pay attention.
Obviously things get typed out like you said now, but
sure. Okay.
Right, so this is Oklahoma City.
This is Oklahoma City. Otega Oweh going to the Oklahoma City Thunder from Kentucky.
So, fun fact about Otega Oweh is this is Odafe Oweh's little brother.
Okay.
So the pass rusher in the NFL, Otega Oweh is his younger brother out of Kentucky. Good player. He's my number 48 overall player. So this is a little tad bit high for him. It's not super, super crazy, but he's a defense first guy. I mean, I think his offensive game needs to take a little bit more of a step. But he can really defend. He's got some two-way upside, good athlete, long arms. He's a solid player. So if they can, get his shooting to be a little bit more consistent, his jump shot's a little ugly. Like it's slow and awkward looking. So again, if they can get something out of him, that would be great. But he's going to serve as a defender pretty immediately in my mind.
We've got a comment from Barry, which I do appreciate. He says, because he's smart, Mike, not a Neanderthal like you.
A Neanderthal?
A Neanderthal.
Pen? I'm not a Neanderthal. I'm an adult.
I'm amazed that you're just outright just aversion to pencils, man.
I'm not aversion.
Shocking.
Bryson, I'm a school teacher. I deal with pencils every day. I'm just saying.
So it's like a burnt out on pencils is what you are.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I'm just saying that when you are like writing as an adult, I feel like the more adult thing to do would be to write in pen rather than pencil. I feel like
you mean the middle and say erasable pen?
A what? Erasable pen? So here's my hot take for the evening.
Okay.
One thing that I hate and have always hated,
okay,
are mechanical pencils.
Oh, I wholeheartly disagree with you. I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Hate mechanical pencils.
Why do you hate them?
Because they always break. They break.
You're pushing too hard on. That's why.
I want to be able to push as hard as I damn well please. I don't want the utensil to control how hard I write on the paper.
Okay, well, it's nice to not have to go to the freaking pencil sharpener and bring it back out. Like, come on.
Oh, okay. So hold on a second.
I have to get up out of my chair.
Pencil, but you're too lazy. So the one thing that makes a pen is the clickable thing. So the most pen-like thing a pencil can have is your favorite part of it.
The line is blurred, Mike. The line is blurred.
It's not blurred. It's clear. I see it clear right now, Bryson.
I'm getting ripped by my mother right now for she's like, why the heck are you guys talking about the pens and pencils right now?
We've got a trade.
Yeah, we do have a big trade. Yep.
We have a trade. The Pistons are trading Isaiah Stewart to the Grizzlies for 3 future second-round picks.
3 future seconds. Okay.
3 future second-round picks. So I don't think it involves this draft at all, but Isaiah Stewart is going to the Grizzlies from Detroit.
Feels like a Grizzly, right?
He does feel. He felt like a Piston, though, too.
He did feel like a Piston. He did.
He felt like a Piston. I mean, Isaiah Stewart is probably the dirtiest player in the NBA, right? Like
Dylan Brooks would like a word.
Pound
for pound, Dylan Brooks is dirtier.
That's a real argument there. That's a real argument.
It's close.
But he certainly fits Memphis identity, right? He certainly
for better,
does
for worse.
Fit that, so.
Barry says, I've never heard of anyone having beef with pencils. This is prime streaming. Listen, I'm with you, but I've never heard of this. Just, I don't want to call it a version, like I said earlier, but just a deep hate.
I don't have beef with pencils.
It sounds like it. I've never heard folks stick out this much against a freaking pencil.
I don't have beef with pencils. I'm just saying, as an adult, I feel like you should use pen. As an adult, you use pen.
Okay, well, to each their
I'll
own, I
get you
guess.
next time you come visit New York. I'm going to come visit you with a. I'm going to show up the first time we meet in person with a box of Ticonderogas. Is that going to make you feel better?
Wait a minute. I just realized something. So, did you use a pencil as like a prop during 8 o'clock spot?
No.
You remember?
What?
You remember when you used that and you did the little Carmelo Anthony tapping of the? Is that a pen or a pencil? I could have sworn you used a pencil.
It's been this pen for years.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the tape on that. I could have sworn it was a number 2 pencil.
This pen for so many years.
Man, I thought that was
probably had this pen down here for like 2.5 years.
Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it. You would know better than me.
It's always the American flag Bic pen.
The American flag.
Okay. It's not a Bic. It's a Pentel. It's a Pentel. These are my favorite pens. I love these pens right here.
Okay.
Show the camera. These
are Jacoby Gillespie's going to San Antonio. My man.
Oh, okay.
I love Jacoby Gillespie.
Jacoby Gillespie is a nice pick here.
Yes, he is.
He's a nice pick. Of course you love him, obviously, right? With the Tennessee stuff.
Absolutely.
Listen, he's one of these like big time when he gets hot, there's no stopping him. Like he's one of those like I said, big time scorers that goes on these crazy streaks. Big time shooting range. He's actually a fairly solid defender for his size.
Yep.
Gives you a little bit of Peyton Pritchard, like that sort of comparison there. Now, again, the thing that bugs me about him is, again, he's short. He's got short arms. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a growing pain for him. And I think his shot selection is a little bit rookie-ish. Like there were times where he just took some really misguided shots. So not a super duper athlete. He might have trouble creating his own shot in the NBA. He was my number 51 overall player. But again, he's not. This is one of those guys where I think if put in the right situation, he could be a very serviceable role player for somebody. So this is a solid pick for San Antonio here. Again, not too much of a reach. There's certainly traits there. But again, kind of similar to Braden Smith. You have to overcome the size, the lack of athleticism. That's kind of what you need to see there.
For sure, and he very much kind of a catch and shoot guy. At Tennessee, he was kind of known for taking some pretty deep threes, which again, it can be a blessing and a curse at times, depending on how much you've got it going. But there were games this year. I feel like it was either the first or second game in the tournament where he hit like his first 6 or 7 shots from the field and was just feeling that like he's very much a streaky kind of go with the flow type of guy offensively, and so and like you said, defensively plays his tail off on that end. That's kind of the Rick Barnes way in Knoxville. So. Solid pick by the Spurs. Hope he pans out there because he's a good player, good leader there at Tennessee. Kind of was their de facto point. So we'll see how it pans out. So Brooklyn now on the clock at 43. This is, I'm almost certain, the next pick. ESPN's not saying otherwise. Again, it's just kind of a guessing game at this point.
We have not had a Shams report. Shams has usually been pretty on it where when the pick happens, we can see the trade pretty quickly. So shouts to him for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, we'll see. I think Brooklyn is in such a state of rebuild that they can use literally anything.
Yeah. We talked about that last night.
Anything they wanted. I mean, Michael Brown is really solid for them. Joshua Jefferson is a nice little offensive hub. Pick is in for Brooklyn. So it looks like it's staying with them. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Let me ask you this. So, we've talked about potential franchises relocating the Pelicans or the Grizzlies. Do you think there's a chance it could be 10, 15 years from now? This is a long projection that the Brooklyn Nets finally, end up back in New Jersey. Because I feel like that's where they belong.
I don't know.
I mean, I know Barclays, that's kind of a big time spot. I get that, but
I kind of don't think so. I mean,
okay.
I think they've made a pretty solid investment to be in New York. I just don't see that happening.
Okay. Here's a pick from the Nets coming up.
With the 43rd pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select
Tyler Bilodeau from UCLA.
I don't know that I scouted him.
Oh, no. This has got to be the earliest that we get to a guy we haven't scouted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I hate to admit that the number of players that I've scouted is less than years past.
They're
But
showing his tape right now. Good catch and shoot guy. It looks like.
yeah, looks
Stretch
like a
big.
stretch big. So yeah, I mean, listen, they've got a bunch of guys that kind of fit this profile too. Danny Wolf is somebody they drafted last year that I think they like a lot in that respect. Tyler Bilodeau is, again, based on what I'm reading now, he's got that little stretch forward deal. He's big time 3-point shooter. Looks like he's got a pretty well-rounded offensive game. So they certainly like these big men that can do a lot, right?
Yeah.
They like these guys that can kind of move around the floor a little bit, not just these one-dimensional shooter type guys. So I listen, it looks like this is solid. I'm ashamed. I should know more about this guy, and I don't. So everybody can make fun of me if they really want to.
No, I'm not gonna do that to you, Mike. I'm not gonna do that to you tonight. Not tonight. In years past, it was kind of funny when we got to like pick 58, and it was like, oh my gosh, scout this guy.
I forget which year it was. I want to say it was 23. I want to say it was
22 or 23. Yeah.
Where I scouted 120 players, 120, and I still didn't get it. Because I will never forget it. The Grizzlies took Tariq Baburovich, and under no circumstance, I don't think anybody scouted him. Anybody.
This was like the using an NFL example, like the Darius Hayward-Bay selection from the Raiders back in the day. Like,
yeah, just totally off the board.
Yeah, like I remember Mayock saying, like, I had like a 7th round grade on this guy. So this is going to be now San Antonio's back on the clock. So 2 picks in the next, or out of the last 3. It's very possible they can move this pick at the last second, or even, trade it after, whoever they take has been drafted.
Yep.
So we'll see. Again, San Antonio's as young of a team as there is in basketball, and plenty of bright future. Then you're going to have
change the color in 2 picks also.
Bryson. No, it's been nice. It's been nice.
You've had San Antonio, Brooklyn, and then San Antonio again. You can just stay with the black ticker and everything. And look at you.
Almost like I've done this before, right?
I know. It's like you're getting a break right now, buddy.
I'm getting a big time break by these teams. Did I get the Cavs colors right earlier? By the way, was that better?
Yeah, that was solid. That was solid.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
Okay, because I know you threw kind of a big fit last night. Like, that's not Cleveland.
Yeah, well, you threw like football orange on up there. Like, what is that?
I'm thinking Browns, man. I don't know.
Jeez, Louise.
Ain't nobody care about no Cavs.
I think you just associate brown, meaning the color of poop, with the city of Cleveland, and I think that's why you did it. I think,
Mike,
what the real reason is.
Mike, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong.
Oh,
the Cavs were in the Eastern Conference Finals there, buddy.
Yeah, and then what? And then what happened?
Then they got smoked.
Then they got dog walked. Okay.
Champions. Yeah, but they got there.
Man. They did
got there.
And then James Hardened. That's what usually happens.
Well, listen, James Harden certainly did James Harden, but it wasn't just him that.
No, it wasn't just him
in that series.
But even in
Donovan Mitchell crapped the bed in that series.
He was bad. But to be fair, James Harden in the previous 2 Game 7s wasn't good, but Donovan saved y'all against Detroit, and then Game 7 against the Raptors. I think it was like Jared Allen kind of had a big game. So
Sam Merrill was massive against Detroit in that game too.
Yep. I did read today where it's possible Cleveland might move Evan Mobley. Have you heard any of those reports?
I feel like there's always talk about them potentially moving Evan Mobley, but I just don't know. I don't know that that's ever going to come to fruition, right? There were talks about moving Evan Mobley for Giannis, and that never took place.
Yeah.
There was talk about moving Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. That never took place. So I don't know. I don't know that there's ever going to be something that comes to fruition with that. And I don't know that I would. I mean, I think Evan Mobley's really, really valuable.
He's an excellent player. Yeah. No, did DPOY a couple of years back. So yeah. So you're going to have San Antonio, then Sacramento, Orlando. And with Orlando's pick at 46, it's the rare, kind of dash where there's been no trades, which probably means we're going to have a trade at 46.
Yeah, right. Orlando has their own 2nd round pick.
This is their own 2nd round pick.
Which is, I mean,
never happens.
Never happens. And then I think Toronto at 50, that's their own second round pick.
Yep.
So
And then that's it.
I don't know. It feels like it's such an oddball thing to happen.
Then you're going to have the Knicks at 47 and then Dallas at 48 over the next 5 draft picks. And so we'll see who the Spurs go with. I think, again, I mentioned great second round picks. Obviously, San Antonio with Manu Ginobili years ago. Looks like they're about to make their selection right now. We haven't done the draft times in a while, so let's get those going. Okay, they're announcing the Braden Smith trade from earlier.
With the 44th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Malik Brown.
Malik Brown going to San Antonio from Duke.
Nice. So they've had a really interesting draft because San Antonio has taken mostly bigs.
Mm-hmm.
They took Jaden Quaintance yesterday. They took Terrace Reed yesterday. And now they take Malik Brown. I mean, Malik Brown, like I said, could very well pound for pound be the best defensive player in the entire draft. He is a monster on that end of the floor. Plays with a ton of effort. Great athlete, long arms, big body. Reminds me a little bit of Nick Claxton. He's a little undersized for a center, but again, they look like they're just getting athletes that play defense. And that's really what they're going for. He's my number 37 overall player. Super, super defensive player. I actually had Malik Brown ranked ahead of Terrace Reed, who they took in the first round yesterday. So, but now they get both. These are 2 very impact bigs. And they took Jaden Quaintance, who I had at number 19, who was, again, one of the better bigs in the draft. So really interesting how their draft has played out. They have gone all front court for the most part outside of Jacoby Gillespie.
Well, listen, trying to add some more size and probably trying to get some more reinforcements for when Wemby's off the floor. Because, listen, God bless Luke Cornett. He did a solid job. He had that huge block in Game 7 against OKC. But, they're going to need some more help to back him up when he's off the floor. Because, I mean, and this is always going to be the case, but we saw it, I think, as much as ever in the NBA Finals when the second Wemby's off the floor, Knicks are just attacking the basket at will. Which is, that's the strategy when you're talking about the best defensive player in basketball. So Sacramento on the clock here now. Somehow 22 wins did not get them the worst record in the West. That's pretty remarkable. It's, list of many of the tanking teams. That game against the Warriors, I think it was like game 80 or 81, where they were up 1 and then with like 2 minutes left and then intentionally fouled Seth Curry in the bonus. Like, it's like, man, they're not even trying to hide it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Sacramento now about to make their selection.
Henry Vesar is still out there.
He sure is. And they're announcing another trade from earlier. Well, here it is. Emmanuel Sharp from Houston.
Nice.
Good pick.
Nice.
Good pick.
Love seeing that. Emmanuel Sharp is a bulldog. I really, really like him as a player. Loved covering him when he played at Houston. He's a shooter. This is a guy that's going to fill it up from the outside. Plays with a mean streak. I think he's got some two-way ability in him. Again, a little bit undersized, but I think the reality is he could be, again, that old school guard that plays hard on both ends, hits shots when you need him to, gives me a lot of Eddie House, right? He'll go and get garbage buckets for you. He's a really solid player. Emmanuel Sharp is going to make a big impact for Sacramento if given the opportunity. So this is a great pick for them.
He was.
Emmanuel Sharp. Yes, Emmanuel Sharp.
Great. Once again, this is why I need you on these shows, man. how did I make it to college? It's unbelievable.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But
Emmanuel Sharp is a very good player, so this is a really good pick for them.
Yes. Yeah, played his butt off at Houston and was excellent player there. So now this is, like you said, the kind of the four-leaf clover of the NBA, where it's the team that owns their own second-round pick, and the Orlando Magic. Now on the clock at 46. Have they taken anybody yet? I don't think they have.
Orlando I don't think Orlando had a first-round pick.
No. Okay, so this is going to be their first and only selection.
This is their only selection at 46. We are halfway through the second round. Again, I've got one player left in my top 42. That's available, and that's Henry Vessar. He's my number 24 overall player, and he's still on the board. So it's interesting that he's still there. 5 best available right now: Henry Vessar out of North Carolina, Tyler Nickel out of Vanderbilt. I think he's a really special shooter. I think he could go at some point as well. One of my favorite players in the whole draft is Nick Martinelli out of Northwestern. I think just his motor, the way he plays the game, he's going to make an impact for somebody. Lamar Wilkerson out of Indiana, another big-time shooter. And then the Duke transfer from Duke to Missouri, Mark Mitchell, is somebody that I think is a little bit underrated, right? I think there's a lot of untapped potential there with him as well. So we'll see how this shakes out. But Orlando...
Pick's coming right now. Felix Opara, we got another Vol here. All right.
Wow.
Felix Opara.
Look at you with all of these Tennessee Vols. Another big.
Yep.
Another big. Felix Opara. I mean, listen, he's a big-time rim protector. I mean, this guy can really get up there and block shots. 6'10", gives you a lot of defensive versatility. That's where he's going to make his living in the NBA, is with his rim protection, serving as a defensive anchor. He's going to be somebody that's going to finish plays on the offensive end, grab a lot of offensive boards. He's going to finish at the rim. He's got some explosiveness when underneath the basket. He's not a shooter. I mean, that's really something that he isn't, that hasn't really developed for him. He's a true rim running defense first center. So this is a good pick for them, for Orlando. Give them another big to add to that rotation.
By the way, also an excellent offensive rebounder at 6'10", second shot creator, and especially for a team as offensively challenged as the Magic, that could be a nice boost. Bringing him off the bench and giving him second shot opportunities. And I'll say this Orlando franchise has been, I think, quietly, because they play in Orlando, one of the most disappointing organizations, I think it's fair to say, over the last couple of years. Like, they make the playoffs for the first time in a while in 23 with Paolo. They lose to your Cavs in a Game 7, and then last year they're expected to take a step. They lose in 5 to Boston. Then this year they make the Desmond Bane move, and it's just, again, a blow a 3-1 lead to Detroit. And it's I feel like we talk so much about the East being the weaker of the two conferences. As we sit here today, like, Orlando's the 7th best team in the East today. I think it's fair to say. Like, I would probably take Miami over Orlando at this point with the honest trade. So I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I like Orlando's roster a lot.
So do I.
I think they've got a lot of really solid talent. Banchero, Wagner, Anthony Black, Desmond Bane. I mean, I think they've got a lot of guys, Jalen Suggs, that they can kind of lean on. So, again, I'm not sure. I mean, I think, obviously, and they just hired Sean Sweeney as their new coach. I mean, I think that could really go
San
a long
Antonio
way
system
for them as well. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, for our good buddy Josh Tariff, I mean, I think he's kind of hoping for a surge in the Orlando Magic's future. So I don't know. I do like their roster, though.
I do too. I think I picked them to go to the conference finals before the season. So, like, for them to, and some of it's injuries, some of it's the fact that they obviously,
there was a lot of injuries.
There was a lot of injuries. There was the rift between, head coach and star player. Like, that doesn't help. But again, what was it? Didn't they had a historically bad second half in that Game 6 against Detroit, where they scored, like, it was something ridiculous, like 20 points or something in the second half. It was awful. So hopefully getting Sweeney in there is able to bring some of an offensive identity. Knicks are on the clock now at 47. Again, they've just done nothing but trade back in this draft thus far. So we'll see if they decide to.
And they took a draft and stash kid. They took Jack Kyle. So again, this is a I really wonder if they're going to end up taking a player that's going to come over and play for them right away. Now, again, There's a
They're
very real
really
possibility that Kyle comes and plays. So, I don't know, but we'll
well,
see. I'd love to see them take Henry Vessar. I really would. He's
I can't
such a
believe he's
good
still
fit for that
available.
roster. He really is. Stretch big, 7-footer. You know, we talked about it yesterday, Bryson. It like when Karl Anthony Towns got into foul trouble, I mean, they couldn't stretch the floor anymore with their
No.
bigs. They just couldn't do it. So that's, I think, something that they could really look to do.
Yeah, and Mitchell Robinson, it's kind of up in the air whether he'll be a Knick next year. And like you said, he good offensive rebounder, solid defensive player, but a zero offensively. Probably the worst free throw shooter in basketball. So
yeah, what does he shoot? 37% from. I
yeah,
mean, he's Shaq level, DeAndre Jordan level bad.
I honestly thought when he had the wrist injury going, I think it was a wrist injury, finger injury, something like that on his shooting hand going into the finals. I thought, like, didn't Tristan Thompson start out as a lefty and then switch?
Yeah, and then he switched
over
to righty. Yep.
I was thinking, like, maybe this is a good time to do that. It's not like it can be that much worse than it's been. Just the arc's bad. It's like I've never been able to figure out. I get some guys got that hand-eye coordination. I get it, and it's harder for a 7-footer to do it. But geez, it's just. If you feel like with enough reps, you could get like a respectable percent. I mean, 65% something. I don't know.
To me, there's no excuse for it. Really,
I agree.
There's no
but
excuse to be a bad free throw shooter in the NBA.
No,
there's no reason for you to be a bad free throw shooter.
No, and even Giannis, who's not a good free throw shooter in his own right, he had that 17 for 19, and when they won the championship. So some of it's about focus, locking in, and not getting your own head. And here is the Knicks pick. Tyler Nichols goes to New York.
They took a shooter.
Yep.
Tyler Nickel is a lights out shooter. This guy can shoot. I mean, seriously, he's the Duncan Robinson of this draft. Like one of these swingman shooters
kind of player
that is just gonna literally shoot the lights out. And I think he could play. Like, he very well easily could step in because there's not much else to Tyler Nichols' game. He's just he's a shooter. That's going to be his translatable trait. He's not going to be a crazy playmaker. He's not going to be a super duper defender. None of that. He is going to shoot in the NBA. If he can shoot it, he's going to find time.
Listen, Duncan Robinson is my kind of player because that's how I play pickup. So it is shoot, and that is literally it. I can play a little bit of defense, but that's pretty much it. Can't handle. God knows I can't jump.
Looks like there was a little trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Orlando is trading Felix Okpara to Washington for picks 51 and 60. So Felix Okpara is going to Washington.
So Okpara is going to Washington. Obviously, they took DeBanson number 1 yesterday.
Did they take anybody else yesterday?
I don't think they did.
No.
So this will be their second player.
Right. Yep.
So now you've got the Mavs, Tyler Reddington's Mavs on the clock at number 48. The pick is in for
48.
them.
Yep.
So let's see who's Henry Vessar is still there.
I'm stunned. I really am surprised that he's still on the board. I mean, they really must have such a problem with him defensively. He is so clearly, Bryson, right now the best player available.
Yeah,
he is very clearly the best player available right now. I'm stunned that he's around.
Yeah, I think ESPN had him as like the second best player coming in tonight, and so now you've had 17 guys.
He's my number 24 overall player, Bryson. Like this is not. This shouldn't be happening.
This is our, I mean, we were talking about Jermon McCoy during the NFL draft, and that was due to some injury concerns. But it's like, how in God's name is this guy falling? Similar questions about Henry Vessar. Amon Shumpert's tripping tonight. There you go.
That's what happens when you're rich and you can buy nice suits.
That's true. Yeah, but we know some guys don't have it at all. Like some guys can pull it off and some guys can't.
So when I was doing, when I had my teaching interview a couple of months ago, I had bought myself a new suit, and it was a gray suit with a like a navy blue checker pattern.
Yeah. You there?
I'm here. I'm waiting
Okay,
for the
sorry.
pick to happen.
It's
Yeah.
Toby Lawal from
Oh,
Virginia
okay.
Tech.
Nice. Yeah, Toby Lawal is an interesting player. Really interesting player. He's to me, he's one of these like tweener forwards. I think he's going to be like, he might be the highest jumper in the entire.
They're showing his vertical right now. It's
He
ridiculous.
is a crazy. Like. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up. I'm pulling up his scouting profile really quickly, just because I want to see what his actual vert was. Yeah. So he had a 45.5-inch max vertical leap. That is unreal. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about him. He is an athlete. He's not a refined basketball player. Like, that's why Toby Lawal is a second-round pick, not a first-round pick. There is nothing right now to his game that screams he's ready to play right now. I think his athleticism is going to help him on the defensive end to some level, right? He'll go up and be able to block shots. He's going to be able to stick with a lot of positions, but he's not a refined defender. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of these, like, again, super athletes that fits the profile. He's just one of those, like, I don't know if he's ever going to be able to shoot in the NBA. He shot 25% from three. But if you're looking for an athletic profile, this guy's 6'8". He's got 6'10" arms. He looks the part. So if they can develop, even if it's just one, Bryson, if they can develop one skill for Toby Lawal, it'll be worth it, because that athleticism jumps on tape.
How do you feel about Dallas's draft thus far? Because they obviously kind of surprised us with the Morris Johnson Jr. pick in round 1. They took Koa Pete, but traded him to the Knicks. I'm sorry, to the Suns.
Yeah.
And now Toby Lawal.
So
it's an interesting draft.
Yeah, I that's what I'll say. I mean, I think, to me, Bryson, the Mavericks have had one of the most interesting drafts that I can remember, because they haven't drafted. They took Morris Johnson, who's a good athlete, seems to translate to a defender in the NBA. Now they take Toby Lawal, who's a great athlete, seems to translate to a defender in the NBA. They have not really taken skillful guys. They've taken guys that have physical tools and that they're hoping to develop. That's really who they took. So, listen, Morris Johnson was my number 22 overall player. Toby Lawal was my number 55. So this is one of those, like, again, they've kind of taken some big chances here. So they're going to look like geniuses if these guys turn into legitimate players. But this is a big risk to take for them. They're not. They don't have refined skill sets. They have to develop these guys.
Well, to say the least, they obviously got to upgrade it at president of basketball operations with Messiah Ujiri as opposed to Nico Harrison in the building. So listen, I'm sure they'll give him a shot, see how it pans out. Denver now on the clock at number 49, and we keep this. So now we're going to sound like broken records on this, that Henry Vassar is still on the board. Could be a good pickup to back up Nikola Jokic potentially. That could work for them.
Listen, at this point, yeah, I mean, the value makes way too much sense. I mean, I'm going to keep saying his name until he gets picked. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah.
It also looks like so Milwaukee is trading for pick 60 tonight from Orlando for cash. So Milwaukee's going to have the last pick tonight.
So then it went from
Washington to Orlando to Milwaukee.
Gotcha. Okay. So moving forward, we're going to have Denver, again, the shocking Toronto Raptors pick, that the fact that they own their own second-round pick, followed by Orlando, the Clippers, and Houston.
Yep. And then after that, it's your Warriors.
Yep. Actually, that Houston pick is going to be the Knicks.
Right. It will be the Knicks. You're right.
It is Bryce Hopkins from St. John's going to the Nuggets.
Wow. Bryce Hopkins, huh?
Bryce Hopkins, the forward from
Okay.
St. John. Yeah. Second
Okay.
team All Big East last year.
Mhm. Yep. No, he's a good player. I mean, he was a little bit down the board for me. But again, this is another one of these like combo forwards. I think he's got a little bit of like in between offensive skill. He's a decent passer, not a bad shooter. So he might carve out a role. I mean, again, I don't love his athleticism, but again, he's one of these tweener forwards that's got some offensive skill. So, it fits the mold of what Denver usually likes out of
It
guys
does.
that they take in the second round, right?
It does. It does.
Unathletic players with offensive skill. I think they're familiar with guys like that.
That one happened to be the greatest player in franchise history. So that works. So Toronto now at 50. I gotta say, the second round's gone by a little quicker. It's being picked up a little bit. Like I said earlier, I hope that at pick 50, here we are at pick 50, that it's not going to go as slow as we were at pick 32 when we're already going to a commercial break.
Yeah, right.
But so yeah, it looks like it's going to fly by from here. So God, I mean,
but how does this is what's interesting to me. How is Bryce Hopkins going before Henry Vesar?
Is there an injury concern? Like, is there something we don't know, or what?
I don't know, because it's not like Bryce Hopkins is a crazy defender either.
No.
Like, I really wonder if there's something else going on. Also, Henry Vesar is so clearly the top player on the board right now, by far. Henry Vesar is the number 24 player on my board. The next guy I've got is Nick Martinelli at 45.
Jeez.
So, like, I mean, we're past territory of ridiculous now.
Yeah. Chances he gets he's undrafted. I mean, they're still pretty slim, but
I mean, I think you have to open yourself up to that possibility at this point. I think you have to open yourself up to that possibility.
Always just fascinating anytime something like this happens and there's not the injury concern. That I mean, I don't think there's character issues there as far as I know.
I haven't heard of anything like that, but again, you never know.
Never know. So yeah, it's gonna be Toronto, the Magic, the Clippers, the Knicks, and then the Golden State Warriors. That pick 54 for Golden State was from the Lakers via Toronto, via Miami, and then it just says and ... So I'm not sure who that pick initially belonged to, but it's definitely been passed around. Listen, Golden State's had some recent success with second round picks. Quentin Post, I believe Guy Santos was the second round pick and played well for us last year. So Draymond Green obviously is the gold standard for second rounders in Golden State. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm really surprised Henry Vesar is still on the board. So we'll see. We could get back to debating, pens and pencils if you want to, but I don't know if that's necessarily entertaining podcasting. But it's at this point we're just filling in airtime.
It's the second round of the NBA draft. It might be the most entertaining thing we've done tonight.
You're not wrong.
The pen pencil debate. That's the thing about content creation, Bryson, is you just like it's the stupid stuff that gets people's attention. It's not, like whatever we're doing now, people don't care about what we're talking about now.
No.
It's the stupid discussions in between that I think really keep people hooked.
Why do you think Inside the NBA is the greatest sports show of all time? I mean, it's not the basketball analysis.
They make fun of Charles Barkley and people think that's hilarious.
Of course.
I love Charles Barkley.
He's one of the greatest television personalities of all time.
Unbelievably good. I love Charles Barkley.
His strength is like he's kind of talked about this and it's something I think Draymond Green, I love Draymond, but he's going to have to learn is the ability to make fun of yourself, laugh at yourself. Like they did how many segments have they done about Charles Barkley not winning any championship? I mean, Shaq reminds him every show. Like it's
Draymond is when are you just going to realize, Bryson, that Draymond's just a jerk? He's just a jerk. He just is.
He's a jerk, but he's my jerk, Mike Guido. Okay.
Most overrated jerk of all time.
Oh, stop it. Do not start this today. Do not start this today. Okay. How about, let me test your basketball knowledge.
He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Bryson. He's going to average 6, 6, and 6 for his career.
Okay. Do the Golden State Warriors win 4 championships without Draymond Green, yes or no?
Yes.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your
I'm
mind.
not out of my mind.
You're out of your mind.
I'm not, Bryson. They could have won those. If David Lee
If David Lee's the starter, they win.
If David, what? If who?
If David Lee's the starter I'm talking about 2015 David Lee, not 2010 David Lee.
Yeah, I think so.
David Lee barely played that playoffs, and it wasn't because of injuries, by the way.
Steph and Clay
nothing against
were
David
on
Lee.
Another planet at that point.
Yeah, they were on another planet, but who got them basketball when they didn't have it? I mean, like that's part of it. I'll defend Draymond Green to death. He's one of the greatest defenders of all time. You need to respect him.
I'm sure.
Who do we got? Jaden Bradley going to the Toronto Raptors.
There you go. Okay, so Jaden Bradley, yeah, this is about right for him. I mean, I think there was an argument to be made that Jaden Bradley could have gone earlier than this. And he's one of these guys that underperformed his high school recruiting, right? Like he's got the makeup of somebody that is so much better than what he provided. He's going to be a serious defender. He's one of the better, I think, perimeter defenders in the entire draft. Solid athlete, great in transition. This past year, he really, really, really improved as a three-point shooter. So there's certainly something to be excited about for him. The issue that I have with him is that he's not really a ball handler. Like I don't love him as like a creator. I don't know that he's got the ability to create his own shot. I think he's more of a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He's a traditional 3-and-D guy, but he's not crazy athletic. Like he's just kind of like an average bit of athletic. So this is a good spot for him to be. This is a good, again, they're taking a good shot with him. I think right here, mid-late second round. This is about where I would have expected him to go.
So now we're moving to the final 10 picks of this draft. So it's going to be the Orlando Magic via the Felix Par trade. So Felix Par is going to the Wizards, followed by the Clippers, Knicks, Golden State, and then that's going to be Houston's pick because the Knicks and the Rockets swapped. Part of the deal swapped 53 and 55. Then you'll have Lakers at 56, Hawks, New Orleans Pelicans, Minnesota Timberwolves, and then the Bucks finishing out this second round of the draft. And we're on the final 10 picks, and your guy's still on the board. Pretty unbelievable.
I'm stunned. Excuse me. Oh, my gosh.
You're good. It's not even 10 o'clock. What? You got to be kidding me, Mike.
I was up at 6:30 this morning, buddy.
Okay. You know what?
I was up at 6:30 this morning.
Then you didn't get much sleep, I guess, because of last night.
No, I did not. And I'm not going to get much sleep tonight either. So
this is the sacrifice we're putting in for you, the audience.
Picks. Let's go. Like, come on.
Let's look 10 picks in 10 minutes.
I love the NBA draft as much as anybody does, but let's be real, okay? Come on. If they go to commercial right now, I swear to God.
Oh, they'll go to commercial before the end of this thing. You know that.
No, I know that. If they go to commercial before this next pick, I'm going to lose my marbles.
When they went to commercial at 32, that's when I started to get a little bit restless. Like, oh, is this how it's going to be tonight? Or
yeah, right? I was like, you got to be kidding me at this point.
Yeah. We could have done this all just last night, but you know what do we know? It's not selling. It's not doing enough commercials, I guess. All right, here's the pick. So no commercial here for the Orlando Magic. Isaiah Nelson to the Orlando Magic out of South Florida.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Isaiah Nelson is, again, he's a little off the board for me here. He certainly is not a bad player, but again, he's one of these like tweener forward bigs. Like that's kind of what he is. And it's another one of these like athletes that's not a refined player yet. Again, defense, projects as a defender. He's a good athlete. He's going to dunk the ball a lot. I think he's going to be a pretty solid offensive rebounder. I just don't know where his offense is going to come from. So there certainly is a ceiling to him of how good I think he can be, but again, as a defender, I think it makes a little bit of sense to take a chance on the athlete because the physical traits are there for him.
For sure. So now the Clippers on the clock up next. They've got a chance to take Vassar, but I mean, at this point, it's looking more and more likely that this guy's going to somehow, some way go undrafted.
Yeah, right.
Or drafted during commercial. You know, maybe we just figured it out. Like they did a night two so that there's not a Nikola Jokic drafted during a Taco Bell commercial possibility. But that to me almost adds to the legend, right? Like it's, you know,
I think it does absolutely add to
you know,
the
again,
legend.
doesn't get talked about enough. Tom Brady was not drafted live. Like it was, you know, they came back from a commercial. Hey, by the way, 199, you know, from Michigan. So again, adds to the lore, adds to the legend. Like again, not everybody's going to be this blue chipper. So Henry Vassar.
Here we go. Now we can argue about Gatorade flavors.
Oh,
so
okay.
What's your Gatorade? You just drank. It took a sip of a red Gatorade.
Yeah, fruit punch flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I really like. Man, it's my balls bias, but I really like orange.
Okay. Orange is not bad. Orange is not bad.
What's yours?
Mine is the cool blue. Mine is the cool blue.
I got to be in the mood for the cool blue. It's very much an acquired taste.
The cool blue for me, I think the cool blue is way better than the light blue.
Oh, I agree with that.
Way better.
Way better. Yeah, a lot more flavor.
So, yeah,
so if we had to power rank this,
that's my Gatorade flavor and my Powerade flavor, by the way.
See, I think the Powerade is actually better than the Gatorade blue.
I think it depends on the day for me.
Okay.
It depends on the day for me. But I will say, for body armor, I'm an orange guy. I'm an orange, whatever it is, mango something.
It's not like some mango strawberry mix or something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Well, here's
the orange body armor is so good.
Here's a conversation for on air. I almost always get body armor on the road when me and my family go to Buc-ee's. You ever go to Buc-ee's?
No.
Oh, you're not near a Buc-ee's though, I guess.
No,
right? Because
I'm northeast. So
yeah. They got to build some out there, man. It's freaking. Oh my gosh. I'm not. This isn't hyperbole when I say it's as good of brisket as you'll have. Period. Their brisket is better than most restaurants I've had. It's that good.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll go to Buc-ee's
too. So
oh god, so good. I usually get the like crushed brisket sandwich, a banana pudding, which I'm a stickler for banana pudding, and then I get a body armor to wash it all down. That just you know,
the best brisket I ever had was at Stubbs in Austin, Texas.
Well, Texas, that makes sense.
In Austin, Texas. So my wife and I went on vacation in January of 2019 to San Antonio and Austin, Texas. So we spent 3 days in San Antonio, 3 days in Austin, and we went to Stubbs in Austin, and that was the best brisket I've ever had. They had, boy, was that good.
Stubbs in Austin, Texas. I'll have to remember that. Yeah, because I'm very much somebody who I am picky when it comes to brisket, and so when it's good, it's good. And Buc-ee's is good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They got to build more around the country. It does not just need to be something that's exclusive to kind of the southern region of America. It's so good. Here's 50-second pick from the Los Angeles Clippers, and this is actually going to Atlanta. Finally, Henry Vassar off the board.
Finally,
52, and he's going to Atlanta, not the Clippers.
I mean, that was just insane.
Yeah.
I'm stunned that Henry Vassar needed to wait that long. True stretch big. He could really shoot it from the outside. Again, he's a 7-footer, somebody that's going to create a lot of space. He's a solid rebounder. Again, like I said, he took a big step back as a defender this past year, but you know that it's in there, right? Like Henry Vassar has had years where he served as a true defensive anchor. He's never going to be a crazy rim protecting center, but I think he could absolutely serve as a guy that can serve as a presence in the paint. He's not going to be a liability. He has that in there with him, right? And I think maybe some of it is effort. Some of it is just mechanic, so if they can get that out of him, Henry Vesar at this spot, I think is a massive steal. I think it's a massive steal.
Atlanta's had a pretty good draft. So you got Kingston Flemings, Zubi Ejiofor, and now Henry Vesar. That's nice. Nice 24 hours for Atlanta.
It's a bunch of good players.
So now the Knicks are back on the clock at number 53. Again, it's Houston's pick, but it's going to the Knicks. I got 2.5 minutes to make the selection. So now who do you have as best player on the board now that Vesar's off?
Right now, sorry, excuse me.
You're good.
I've got 5 players left in the top 50. Nick Martinelli out of Northwestern is my best available player right now. I love his game. Lamar Wilkerson out of Indiana is another one of these like big time shooters. Mark Mitchell out of Missouri. I think there's some upside with him. I think a good all-around basketball player. Ugonna Onyenso, the center out of Virginia, I think is a big time shot blocker, rebounder.
Was he the guy that had like 8 blocks or something ridiculous in the ACC title game?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a massive defensive presence in the middle. And then Kylan Boswell out of Illinois, the point guard, I think could serve as a nice role player for somebody as well. So those are right now, those are my 5 best available. 45, 46, 47, 49, and 50 on my board right now.
So still potential value there. So again, to finish out, you'll have the Knicks, Golden State, Houston, Lakers, Clippers, because that was Atlanta's pick. They just took Henry Vesar.
So now the Clippers are going to get 57. So Atlanta
Clippers are going to get 57. Yeah.
Atlanta moved up from 57 to 52 to get Vesar, and now the Clippers are down to 57. All right, so this is now the Knicks.
Yep. And what the delay is, who the heck knows?
So the Knicks took Jack Kyle and they took Tyler Nickel. So they've taken some pretty good guards. So they took my number 42 and number 43 players.
Okay.
42 and 43, the Knicks. So I'd love to see them again try to get one of these bigs that can stretch the floor a little bit. Again, Henry Vesar would have been such a good fit for their roster. I'm disappointed that they didn't take him. But anybody that can stretch the floor in any way for them, I think would be such a huge get.
We've got Ugonna Onyenso. I'm sorry.
Ugonna Onyenso, yep. So they took a big, but he's not a shooter. I mean, this guy is as not of a shooter as you're going to get. Now, I think that there are a lot of people that believe in his ability to become somewhat of a spot-up shooter. I'm not really one of those people. He has such an awkward-looking jump shot. He's just not, and he doesn't really attempt them a lot. Like, it's not like he was really given the runway to do that. So I think he's just going to serve as a rim-running center, a big-time rim protector, good rebounder, pretty explosive under the rim. He's a little Mitchell Robinson-ish. Like his comparison for me was Nerlens Noel. He's a little bigger than Nerlens Noel is, but he's a big center, big body, again, explosive under the rim. He's going to block shots. He's going to grab a lot of offensive boards. They are essentially adding another version of Mitchell Robinson here.
Possibly the replacement.
Yeah, I mean, his hands aren't as good as Mitchell Robinson, so he's not like a crazy lob threat or anything. Like, he needs to get better at just like getting the basketball in his hands, but he's a traditional center. So at this point, you know what he is. I don't know what upside he's going to have, but he's a traditional center. He should serve a purpose automatically.
I'll be honest, there's a part of me that's kind of hoping he'd fall to this pick with Golden State. So who available you think would be the best fit? Again, I'm still on a high of Yaxel Lenneborg, going number 11. So trying to see Nick Martinelli, maybe?
I'm telling you, Nick Martinelli he's my favorite player right now left. I love the way
Okay.
Nick Martinelli plays the game. So I would love that. Again, like I'm also a big fan of Mark Mitchell. I mean, Mark Mitchell, it kind of fits what the Warriors like between those like tweener forwards that they like to work with. Mark Mitchell kind of fits that profile, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. Listen, they've got choices. I mean, it's not like they're hurting for options here. You know,
Right.
there's still a bunch of bigs out there that are out there. Nate Biddle is out there. Rafael Castro is out there. Like, they've still got some options here. So,
Well, listen, part of that's what's come with having the steep of a draft. And that's one of the things too, like this would be a good draft, as you kind of suggested earlier about having a third round. Like this is kind of one where that would be a good option for these teams. So the pick is in for Golden State. We'll see who it is. But yeah, gosh, I'm still so freaking excited to have Yaxel Lenneborg. I wanted him
he's
so
such
bad
a
before
good
the
player.
draft.
I think he's going to be the steal of the draft. Like, I genuinely think that guy's going to be a very, very good NBA player. Really, really good.
I think he's a starter day one. I really do in Golden State.
I think he's capable of being that. He's older.
Yep.
I think he's capable of being that. Absolutely.
And listen, curse somebody, his track record would show you. I mean, like use Kuminga probably as an example, but doesn't have a ton of patience for young guys. And so, like, you know, he'll pull you after a couple of mistakes. So somebody who's smart can come in there, plenty of college experience, you know, age, good head on his shoulders, like that. That's somebody that can fit quickly in Golden State. Oddly, Brandon Pajemski is the only guy who doesn't fit that role for that mold for Steve Kerr. Like he can screw up 15 times, and but we shall see. You got 27 seconds left to make the selection, although it does say on ESPN that the pick is in. So we've got 7 picks left in this NBA draft. And again, still some solid talent left on the board. Yeah, Mark Mitchell, Martinelli. Martinelli would probably be my selection here. Or if they wanted to go big, Nate Biddle from Oregon. So we'll see. Okay. So we have a trade. The Knicks are trading Ugana Onyenso to the Detroit Pistons for cash. So he's going to Detroit.
Okay. All right.
So much for the Mitchell Robinson replacement.
So, yep. So he's going to Detroit.
Leger Jones to the Golden State Warriors from Florida State. So we go with a guard here.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is off the board.
Wow.
This is off the board for me. I mean, this is pretty far down.
Did you scout him or at all or
no,
okay.
I didn't. So again, I am basing this off of where I see the consensus is. Yeah, I mean, he's. I've got nothing really.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think again at this point in the draft too, Bryson. I mean, you're just looking at guys that fit some sort of identity or a role. So I don't know a lot about Leger Jones. Like I said, I slacked a little bit on scouting and an absurd amount of players this year, but again, let me even see if I could find something on him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something too.
So Leger Jones, 12.5 points a game this year for Florida State. It's around 6 rebounds. Took a bunch of threes. I mean, he was shooting 5 threes a game. He shot 32.5%. So not a super duper 3-point shooter. But it looks like, so let's see. 6'7", 220 pounds. His tools and versatility. So you're kind of hoping that he becomes like a two-way wing. That's really what it seems like for him in the Josh Okogie mold. I'm pulling this from Bleacher Report. So I don't know. It seems like he's again, another one of these athletes. He's got physical tools. See if they can mold something out of that. That seems to be where they're going right now.
So this pick right now was initially the Knicks, then to Houston, and it just got traded to the Clippers, I believe, for cash.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So right. So this is now heading to the Clippers. Exactly.
How about the fact, Shams Sharani, you slide dog, the Rockets are trading number 55 to Clippers for cash. A Wildcat is on the way, and that could be like
Arizona,
that could be
Kentucky,
Arizona,
maybe.
Northwestern. Yeah.
Listen, if
That's
it's Northwestern,
Martinelli.
right. Right. So, yep, we'll see. I mean, I think the Clippers. So they've gotten Keaton Wagler. They took Baba Miller.
Mhm. Henry Vassar, who they traded to Atlanta.
So they, yeah. I mean, listen, if they take Martinelli, they're winners. Let me tell you something.
Yep.
By the
All
way,
right.
Ghana and Onyenso for Detroit, they just traded Isaiah Stewart.
I was saying the same thing. Yeah,
That makes sense.
it does. But better shot blocker than Isaiah. And Isaiah Stewart averaged,
Yeah.
I believe, a career high in blocks last year, like 1.6, which is fine. But
Yeah.
definitely somebody who can protect the rim for them. The thing with Detroit though is they've got to get better offensively. They were so darn reliant on Cade Cunningham on that end all season long, and in the playoffs, that's eventually just going to get exposed, and it did against your Cavs. So we'll see if they can maybe address that in free agency. Here is the next pick, which actually went to Houston, which actually is now going to the Clippers at number 55. Nick Martinelli. There it is.
Nick Martinelli.
To the LA Clippers.
I love his game. I absolutely love Nick Martinelli's game. I really do. He reminds me a little bit of Jaime Jaquez. I just think that when it comes to his skill set, he is so much like a effort, great in transition, absorbs contact. Like he's one of those like old school players that you just love to see, right? Can score the basketball really, really well, right? He averaged 23 points a game last year. I mean, he's got a lot of skill. I think he's got some jump shooting upside as well. I love Nick Martinelli, man. I just love his motor. I love the way he plays the game. I think he's going to have a long NBA career. I really do.
I'm just happy he's not going with the team at number 56, which is the Los Angeles Lakers. So Bulls pick going to the LA Lakers. Who else we got on the board?
Lamar Wilkerson is my best overall player. I don't know that he fits their roster anymore based on what they did in the first round with Cameron Carr. So I'm at this point where, like, if you guess a player, you're throwing darts.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, listen, the Lakers it's always been true for Luka-led teams, for LeBron James-led teams.
Shooters.
Just load up on shooters.
Yep.
Load up on shooters. That has been the worst kept secret in NBA history. So go fill up on shooters. I'm good with that too.
Fill up on shooters and fill up on, front court help, because unlike LeBron, Luka is a defensive liability. So being able to have that help, again, obviously in Dallas with Gafford, Derek Lively, PJ Washington and company. So the Lakers took, what's my man's name from Cal? Cameron, what's his name? Shoot. Who'd they take? Cameron Carr.
Yeah. Baylor.
Baylor. I'm sorry. Why did I say Cal? Cameron Carr from Baylor. Got the Bears teams mixed up. But Cameron Carr going to the Lakers, and then so we'll see. So the picks in for them at number 56. And so we shall see. Still got some potential international guys. Got a guy from Russia, Israel, Spain. Still some potential draft and stash options on the board. This feels like it's been one of those drafts where there hasn't been that many draft and stash options. Like, it feels like at this point, it's, it feels like we get 5 or 6 of those a year. Maybe it's too strong, but
yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We usually get a bunch of draft and stash guys by this point, especially in the second round. And there really haven't been. But I feel like there's been less and less over the past few years, Bryson. I mean, it's not as common as it used to be.
Yeah. Just because guys are coming overseas to play college basketball, NIL opportunities. So
Right, exactly.
that makes better development. So we shall see. For a second, I thought that was Marcus Smart in the middle with the ESPN crew. For just a second. Okay, so here's the pick for the Bulls, but it is going to the Los Angeles Lakers. I believe Barry wanted a big, if I'm not mistaken.
The Chicago Bulls select
Vsefalov Ischenko from Russia. So right there, potential draft and stash.
Well, you've got me, Bryson. They got me. That's all right. I mean, listen, so definitely drafting Vsefalov Ischenko. Yep. So they took a guard.
Yep. Ischenko. All right. Is he I'm trying to see if he's a shooter, because like you said, it's, being able to surround Luka with guys like that is always gonna be a plus. Let's see. They're showing AJ Devonta highlights. That's not helpful. Let's see if we can maybe get some scouting report, do some quick Googling. If nothing else,
Vsefalov Ischenko.
Well, he's actually not even going to be a Laker. He's just got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. We don't know what the terms of that deal, but Shams just says that he's been traded to Dallas. So
I wonder what Dallas gave up for this draft.
Cash, probably. I mean, has to be.
It has to be. Yeah, right. It's got to be cash.
Well, Dallas has just had a really interesting, really interesting draft. I'm again, first year for the front office. We got to see how the vision plays out, but it certainly isn't a conventional route, to say the very least.
Yep.
So then, is this the Clippers pick? Let me check.
This is supposed to be for the Clippers. Yes.
Yep, from the trade earlier with the Hawks with for Henry Vesar. So LA teams picking back to back. Although that Lakers pick is going to the Mavs, and so Clippers. So we'll finish with the LA Clippers, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Of course, maybe 59 is going to LA. I don't know. Maybe like that. That's possible. And then obviously the Milwaukee Bucks to round out this 2026 NBA draft. Any kind of major takeaways? I know we're probably just spoiling the final segment, but might as well fill in some airspace. Any sort of, I'm sure the Henry Vesar story is something you'll want to hit on.
Yeah, I mean, his slide does not really make a whole lot of sense for me. I mean, again, like it's not like it was the number 7 player in the draft that was falling. It was my number 24. So it's not like a huge thing. But I mean, I definitely thought he was going to go in round 1. And then when he didn't go in round 1, I'm like, all right, he's going to go early round 2. And then he didn't.
We put him on the thumbnail.
2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, oh man, like this is, something interesting now. So yeah, that certainly confused me a little bit, but it's really been, like I said, early on in the second round, Bryson, we saw a lot of shooters go, right? Like Bruce Thornton, Richie Saunders, Isaiah Evans, Malik Thomas, like all of those guys those were the first 4 picks of the second round. They're all shooters, right?
Right.
But then after that, we saw a lot of like athletes that don't have refined skill sets, right? So we saw
projects.
The Baba Millers, the Dylan Mitchells, right? The Toby Lawals. Like we saw those guys that don't have really refined skill sets. That seems to be the direction that teams went for. So yeah, it's super interesting. And then we have the future all-star in Vsefalov Ischenko, who, I mean, I honestly, I did not.
Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay.
No. He is like he's off the board, like really he's out of nowhere.
I think ESPN had him. I'm just kind of tracking their list. I think they had him as like the 7th best player. It might have been actually the 4th best player left on the board. So, they're international scouts, I guess, in Minnesota.
Well, they've got Fran Fraschilla, who's all about the international scouting.
That's true.
Yep. Mavs sent cash to the Lakers for Ischenko.
Okay. So then end of Why did I see? This is where my brain's getting mixed up. That we're all with all these trades. For some reason, I thought he got traded to Minnesota, but like you said, Dallas. So Minnesota at
going to
59.
Dallas.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Toby Awaka? Because he's a former Vol that transferred to the Arizona Wildcats. Have you scout him or?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. Again, this was an off year for me, Bryson.
It's all good.
This was an off year for me. Like I said, I only scouted about 65 players. So,
Oh, you slacker!
I'm telling you,
Unbelievable.
man. I am lowballing it this year, big time.
Well, you know what? There's probably not going to be a Jemai Meshack for me to scout at the very end, unfortunately. So I won't be able to save you this year, buddy.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm
you know
already
what?
not saved. I provide what I can.
Yeah,
I provide what I can.
You did okay over the last 24 hours, I'd say.
I would hope so. I mean,
audience may disagree, but I think you did okay.
Well, thanks. I'm glad one person thinks so.
Man, they are just milking this, man. This cannot take
We've
this long.
got 4 picks left.
Let's go. Guys.
Of
course, I think ESPN has this scheduled to air for another 45, so I don't even let's
I got news for you.
Oh Lord.
Like a gooey mozzarella stick. They are trying to really stretch this thing out. Oh,
what could they possibly be talking about right now that's more important than getting this draft done? Maybe they're debating pencils and pens. Who knows?
No. Well, they're honestly, they're probably talking about like Austin Reeves extension or something.
Yeah, which the Lakers screwed up on, in my opinion. But, you know. Austin Reeves is an excellent player, but I don't think he can be the second best player on a championship contender when your best player is also defensive liability. So, I think they'd have been better advised to let him walk, but we'll see.
I agree. I agree.
LA's in such a weird spot. Like, I feel like they're going to be, and trust me, I do not mean this as a compliment. I feel like they're going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA over the next few years. Like, they'll always be in the playoffs, maybe a play-in here and there, and they will have a second-round steal. Although the Steelers can't even get to the second round, so maybe that's a shot at the Lakers. But yeah, it feels like they're just going to be kind of stuck in the middle.
Yep.
So we'll see. Which is shocking after the Luka trade.
Because I feel like Windhorst lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, Windhorst looks good. He does.
I don't know if it's just he's wearing a bigger suit or something like that, but he looks like he.
No, I think so.
Windhorst used to be big. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I got listen when LeBron and Stephen A had their tit for tat last year. I was good with Braun going at just about everybody he went after. When he came after Wendy, that's when we had problems. I'm like, leave Windhorst out of this, man. He's one of the best. Finally, okay, here's the pick. Narcisse Ngoy from France. So another potential drafting stash, maybe at the end of this second round.
Nope, got me.
Narcisse Ngoy. Wonder if he's played with Wemby before. Probably not, but it's curious. I heard them say he's a project. Well, he's late second round. So let's see. Yeah, highlights of this guy? No, nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, they don't even.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they don't even have a highlight tape.
Oh man.
All right, New Orleans Pelicans.
They're not even taking the draft and stash guys that I scouted. Jeez, Louise.
What draft and stash guys do you have left?
Let's see. Who do I have left that is draft and stash? Noam Yakov I've got.
Okay.
Is that it? That might be it. Yeah, that's it.
So now
that's it. Just Noam Yakov. That's it.
So it's New Orleans on the clock. Is this the Pelicans' first pick? Am I crazy? Or I feel like this is their first pick of the draft.
I believe it is actually. Yeah, it is.
And I'm watching right now. They have 250 to make the selection. How that's even possible, given the fact that we waited like 5 minutes for the
11 years for the
11 years.
Come on.
Almost as long as the city of Cleveland had to wait for a title, but
They're definitely making it up. There's no way they've got 2.5 minutes left to make a pick. There's no way.
I don't even know how that's even possible.
There's no way. They're definitely making it up.
They're making adding it up.
No shot.
This draft should have been over by now, Mike. I actually, in advance, I probably should have meant this on air, but I'm doing it anyway. I went back and checked how long the stream was last year for the second round, which it might have been 2 less players. Was it 58 players last year? I feel like
it was 58. Yeah.
Okay, so that was part of it, but it was, I think, 2 hours, 36 minutes. So add, okay, well then I guess we're going maybe a little quicker than last year because this is 58. That was 58.
We're at 2 hours and 20.
So, okay. Maybe I need to shut up. This still could go much quicker, though, in all seriousness.
Yeah, I can't. This is insane. This is insane. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm cranky. This is not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
That's one of the things that makes the NFL draft, more entertaining. Obviously, there's more rounds and there's more, high in talent depth, but like second round, there's plenty of guys that can be Pro Bowlers day one. Same with the third round. Like whereas second round, again, nothing against these guys, but it's just how the way basketball works.
That's the way it is, right?
11. Yeah. So we shall see.
Yeah, and especially, there's been 2 picks in the last 20 minutes, and they've both been draft and stash guys that are so far off the board that
Here comes Mark Tatum. There we go. I was gonna say, no way they have this much time to make a pick. Let's go draft and stash here. What do you say? Jaron Pierre Jr. from SMU.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Jaron Pierre Jr. Okay. So this not draft and stash. There we go.
Yep.
We've got a real player here. Yeah, so this guy's a pretty serious athlete. He's a pretty good scorer. He's one of these guys that I think is going to serve more as a catch and shoot guy rather than somebody that's going to create off the dribble. And I think that makes a little bit of sense at this point. He's going to be a role-playing shooter that's going to come off screens, do a little bit of catch and shoot. That's really going to be his role. Yeah, he's an off-ball guard. So again, if he can shoot, then it's going to work for them.
And we are, believe it or not, going to another commercial break, Mike Guido. I know that's shocking, but that's where we're going. ESPN's got 38 more minutes to kill, so let's just extend this puppy as far as we can. It's going to be Minnesota, then Milwaukee, and then that'll be it.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right.
Wow. Oh, my goodness, Bryson. We've got 2 picks left, and it's going to take 38 minutes for them to finish it. Golly.
Feels like a bit much.
It is. It's 100% much.
So,
right. Minnesota.
Minnesota announced this pick during commercial just to spite the network.
Yeah, right.
Just send Mark Tatum out there anyway. I don't care.
Right.
Let's come back, have Milwaukee's pick, and then that's a wrap. I'd say we've probably signed we're. How old are you, Mike?
I am 29.
Okay, we probably sounded like we're 73 and 79 tonight, but
Mm-hmm.
such as
So did you just turn 22 or?
So I'm 20. I'm turning 23 in 4 days, literally. So.
Oh wow! Well, happy birthday,
so yeah,
Bryson.
I appreciate that. I got to grow this.
I'm turning 30 in September, so it's
what day in September?
2nd.
September 2nd. Okay, gotcha.
2nd. Yeah, it's.
I feel
forward to that. Not looking forward to 30. That's tell you.
That's when kind of the downslide starts.
Right.
Once you got that 3 in front of your, the 3 is the first digit.
Right. Because right now I can still say that I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
But
it's like, you're still a whippersnapper, right? Like it's
Yeah, right. Now I'm gonna be an old fuddy duddy. That's what I'm gonna be now. Oh Lord.
Speaking of age, obviously you follow this team closer than I would care to, but I couldn't believe Aaron Judge is 35. For some reason, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, well, he didn't get
I,
he didn't get to the majors till he was 26 or something.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, I mean, he was an old rookie, but still, like they said,
Mhm.
yeah, Aaron Judge is 35. I was like, what? Like
Yeah.
that was kind of caught me off guard. But
Yep.
yeah, really let America down during the World Baseball Classic. I tell you, just I mean,
Jesus.
I'm telling the truth. He did.
God, man, you were on a roll.
He was bad. He was really bad. Bryce Harper tried to save us there, but nope.
I mean, there were a lot of guys that performed poorly for the United States in the World Baseball Classic. Let's be real.
Well, not even in the just in the United States and the entire field. A lot of Red Sox showed up in that World Baseball Classic, and they had done jack since.
Playing for the wrong reasons, Bryson.
I guess so.
Playing for the wrong reasons.
Here's Minnesota's pick. Trey Kaufman-Wren from Purdue.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, Trey Kaufman-Wren. So he's he's like if you remember him from the tournament, he's like he was the really aggressive like forward big that they had. So listen, I'm excited that this guy got drafted. Pretty good rebounder, plays with a lot of energy. He's a nice player. Again, big spark plug kind of guy.
Yeah. All right, now Milwaukee, and then that'll be a wrap on this draft. Let's make a prediction. Who goes to the Milwaukee Bucks at pick number 60? Let's throw somebody out there.
So this is Milwaukee.
Yep.
Let me put this down in the tracker now. Milwaukee. I am going to say that this is going to be Lamar Wilkerson out of Indiana.
Mark Wilkerson out of Indiana.
I'm going to say Lamar Wilkerson, yeah.
I'll say it's let's see, they don't need a big, do they? I'm trying to see who they've drafted. No, Braden Burries and Nate Ament have been their picks. So I will go with the center out of Oregon. I'll go Nate Biddle at number 60. Okay. That'll be my pick.
That's reasonable.
So we'll see. And they'll, again, I would just about bet the house they're going to take all 2.5 minutes to get out of this. So, yeah.
Because why wouldn't they, Bryson?
Why wouldn't they?
Why
wouldn't they?
Because they can.
When they don't start till like 8:20 and they go to commercial break at pick 32. I mean,
So we know who it isn't going. So they know who the pick is because undrafted free agents have started to sign.
Yep.
Vanderbilt forward A.K. Okereke has signed a 2-way contract with the Lakers.
Yep. And then those will, trickle in a bit over the next, few hours, next day or so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trying to think of this.
Trey,
we can just do that for the next 2 minutes.
Just sing, yeah.
Yes. Now that would make people turn it off right there. That would make them turn this off.
If we like, all right, screw these guys, forget it.
Yeah. Hometown kid staying. Miami guard Trey Donaldson has agreed with the 2-way deal with the Heat.
Okay.
So staying local there. So yeah, these undrafted free agent deals are going to keep coming in. Let's see. Trying to think. What's my
stinks. Damn. What? Oh, that sucks. So according to Chris Fedor, who's a Cavs reporter, the Cavs were planning to sign Nick Martinelli to a 2-way contract undrafted.
Ouch.
That sucks.
And there was no way he wasn't going to fall out of round 2, though. I don't think. I mean, he got picked 55th.
55, yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
This would have been your.
Listen, I've got like 45 seconds on the clock here, Bryson. Oh, is the pick in now?
Picks in.
Jeez.
This would. I keep forgetting the guy's name. Who was it in 2022 that you were like just more excited than you should have been when the Cavs took him? I think it was actually at 55. Who was it? The kid he ended up playing like G League ball for you guys, but you had him as like the 5th best player in the draft or something
Oh,
ridiculous.
it was Amani Bates.
Amani Bates. I
It was
forget
Amani
every year.
Bates.
Yeah. I don't think he's still.
Took him
I don't even know
49.
if he's playing professional basketball anymore. So
49, yeah.
I respect you for taking the swing, though. I respect you for taking the swing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's some diamond in the roughs here and there,
I would
but
love to see
that was
him
not one
stick
of them.
around. That kid could create his own shot like nobody else's business. That kid could really let it fly.
You swear by him the way like Skip Bayless swears by Tim Tebow. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I'm still a believer in Amani Bates. Just give him the opportunity, man.
Put the ball in his hands, let him work.
I'm telling you, just give him the opportunity. He will let it fly.
All right, here's Mark Tatum, Mr. Smiles, to even out this draft, and for good measure, let's turn on the chimes. And fittingly, this is not going to be the Wizards' pick. All right, there's the $1 million smile. All right, just tell us the pick so we can get out of here.
Is he thanking everybody?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Thank you, ESPN. Yes, thank you for ESPN for making this drag out an hour longer than it should have. Yes, I agree. Should have been out of here by 9:30. God, where is it? Boy, everybody's gone. It was like 4 tables. It's still there.
Yeah, because everybody got drafted already.
Everybody got drafted. Yeah.
Gone.
The funniest thing is when there have been like guys come out of the stands at Barclays. Malik Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago. Wow.
Okay. No.
I'm going to go on a limb and say you did not scout him.
Nope.
Malik Lewis. 3-and-D wing is how ESPN's got him listed. Yeah, good shooter from the perimeter. Played overseas ball. Or no, I'm sorry. He played in the G League. Played in the G League. All right. There you go. That's a wrap on the second round. Do you have any sort of major takeaways other than Henry Vassar? Again, I think other than that, it was similar to last night. A pretty chalk, top of the second round, I think.
Yeah.
But any sort of takeaways right off the bat?
I mean, look, I think overall, I think Oklahoma City did really, really great. I think that goes without saying. What the Knicks were doing was super interesting as far as like how many times they traded back, how many assets they were able to acquire. Same thing with Memphis. I thought Memphis had a really good draft as well. San Antonio stuck out for me based on their direction with how many bigs they took. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, it is definitely pretty chalk. There were some guys that I thought that were going to get drafted that didn't. Lamar Wilkerson being one of them. Kylan Boswell was another one. I was really hoping Mark Mitchell would get drafted tonight. But again, I would say there were towards the end of the second round, and it seems that this is the way in a lot of years, but this year especially, a lot of really off the board picks for international guys as well. Like you really did see a lot of draft and stash guys towards the end of the draft. So again, it's another year down in the books, buddy. We're rolling again.
6 years. Can you believe that? That's unbelievable. We started 2021 doing that draft. That was the Cade Cunningham draft, and since then, buddy, you've anchored this from start to finish. I just came in as like a came in off the bench last year, so it was great to be back in the hosting chair, hosting with you, Mike Guido. Thanks to Barry Grant Jr. Thanks to Tyler Reddington for showing up yesterday. Mike Guido, great stuff as always. Hope everybody has a great week. We'll see you guys next year for the 2027 NBA draft. Stay safe out there. God bless y'all. Peace out. And by the way, everybody knows pencils are better than pens. All right, that was fun, buddy. I appreciate